The following podcast is recommended for mature audiences only. The following podcast is recommended for adults only. Maturity is not a requirement.
Hello and welcome to episode 71 of Dear Download, a podcast about Download Festival, music and the industry, and all other aspects relating to rock and heavy metal. This episode, we are talking about all of the bands that are playing on the Sunday at Download Festival 2024. I am Adam, and as always, I am here with Simon. How are you doing, man?
I'm in a really good mood today. Yeah.
Good, excellent. Weather's been nice. We're going to talk about the weather a bit later as well, actually, because
can't wait.
Change them. But yeah, we got a few things we want to go through before that. So one huge, massive thing is Simon's penis.
Don't say that because you're selling me.
I don't know.
I don't even know if that's a joke or a pun. So say you're selling me short. Because if someone stands next to me at the urinals, they will see that it's not actually that big. So no, don't do that.
Okay.
Although
I won't say that.
Should I say this on here? I don't even know if I should. I should actually. We were at Bloodstock, and I was standing next to my very good friend Dean, and he's obviously had a glance down, and his comments were much bigger than he thought it would be. So that is how a very good friend of mine has described my penis. So.
Cool. I'll have a look next time I get a chance. I'll name it too. I just named your penis. Anyway, that's a good start. Right. I can't remember at what point of the merch we were at last episode, whether we were already selling it or not. I can't remember. But we are selling merch now. We have merch in-house. Well, we had the wristbands and car stickers for a while, but we have the t-shirts, we have the patches and the other two. And we're selling them, and they are absolutely amazing. I fucking love these t-shirts. Simon doesn't have one yet. It's currently in London with Adam Leader. I thought it'd be clever and take Simon's shirt.
It was a good idea, because I didn't tell you that that I wasn't going. And I didn't tell Leader that I wasn't going. So, it was completely my fault, and a good idea from you. So, it's fine.
But yeah, so you can buy them if you join our Discord. There is a shop channel in there. You'll have to message me and say what you want. We still haven't quite been able to get a storefront up and running yet, because we basically need to be registered as a business to be able to sell stuff like that online. And it's been on our to-do list. It is currently right at the top of our to-do list after some events have happened recently.
Yes, some events have happened have led us to have to move in a certain direction. So that's what we're looking into at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, fuck it. Should we just do that bit now, and then I'll cut it out, and then we'll come back?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That is that. Back to the episode. Sorry. So what did we say before that? Actually, going back a little bit, as we spoke about In Search of Sun, I did go and see In Search of Sun last Thursday. It was now, and I wore my t-shirt, which was cool.
Nice.
I put some stickers up in the toilets. Oh, by the way, anybody who's received some stickers from us, don't. I have to tell you, don't put them all around Download where we'll benefit greatly from them. Okay, please don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Please don't promote us at the one place that gives us the most business. Okay, don't do that.
Cool. But yeah, In Search of Sun were really cool. We didn't get back until like 1 a.m. It was ridiculous. We almost ended up in Wales. There was road closures and stuff. So it's hard work getting to Bristol. Well, it's hard work getting back from Bristol from gigs. But yeah, it was worth it, I would say. And I ended up going with a couple of old friends. Met with them who live in Bristol. One of them I haven't spoken to for, I want to say like 12, 14 years. Something like that.
Wow.
It was really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And we had so much fun. He's coming on my stag do. I told him that you're coming on my stag do. I can't. And he actually came to Download with us a couple of times. He couldn't remember which years. One of them was definitely the year of the riots. It was 2 years in a row. So it was either 05 and 06 or 06 and 07. He came. Nice. He came the year of the Oak Apple Drive sign I said about before.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah.
took a couple drive sign. But yeah, you remember I was talking to him for ages about loads and loads of stuff. It was really cool. You remember I said I was in a band and we played with Napalm Death.
Yes.
Yeah, his band also played that gig as well.
Oh, nice.
So he was in a band. It was weird. It was kind of rivalry, even though we're all friends. But it was like they're better than us. They've been going for longer than us. We want to be more popular than them to show.
I think it's fine to have that in bands. I think you
Yeah.
should be, even with your mates that you're friends in the bands with. You can still be great mates, but I think while you're on stage, you should aim to be better than anyone else that's on the same stage as you.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, his band also played. I think it was like the year before. Bring Me the Horizon played in Bridgewater, and his band
Wow.
opened for them.
Wow,
I
very
completely
cool.
forgot about that until looking up recently.
That's old school. That's
yeah.
old school. Nice.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
I was at that gig as well, and he was telling me a story. He was so that was like 2006, 18 years ago. And he was walking to get the bus to go to work, and he was walking with a 19-year-old girl that he works with, and they were talking about music, and she was talking to him and said like one of her favorite bands at the moment is Bring Me the Horizon. He's like, have you heard of them? Do you know who they are? The middle-aged
Nice.
man was like,
Yeah.
yes. I'll tell you what, when I was your age, I was on the stage with them, sort of thing. I can't remember how he finished the story now, but yeah,
That's awesome.
it made me laugh, and I had to speak to him the next day and say, "Can I tell that story on the podcast? Because that's hilarious."
That's awesome. That's wicked.
Yeah,
That's old school stuff, man. I like it.
yeah. But so, like I was saying, In Search of Sun was really cool. We've also been told off on Instagram about our review of Wheatus. Oh, I don't know why. We were very fair to Wheatus, and we didn't say that they've been milking one song.
I think
for
maybe
over
I was
20
a little bit
years.
more harsh than you were, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sure the person who sent it is probably listening. I don't think that would have put him off a life. I can't find where that comment was on Instagram anymore, I'm afraid. But I did say to Simon, I do want to mention it on here. I think you said something along the lines of, they're a hard-working band. They've been going the whole time, doing gigs all the time. I think you said something about them playing lots of small intimate gigs as well.
Must be short
yes.
gigs.
Sure.
Playing that one song over and over again.
I was trying to be a nice guy. I was really trying then. No.
No, that's cool. Well done. They've made a career out of having one song. That's amazing.
No, I think the person who, I'm so sorry, I don't know who your name was, what your name was, or where the comment was. But I think they had a good point. So yes, you had a
I'd
very
love
good
to
point.
make one song and live off of it for 20 years. So yeah.
You have said
Why
that
not?
before, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just need to write one good song.
No shame in that.
Yeah. Well, haven't you done it yet? There's only one you need to write.
Yeah, why have you not done it yet, you idiot? You moron. Why have you not done it yet? Don't you think I'm telling myself that? Fucking inside? You piece of trash.
Oh well, maybe the next generation will get the fame that you deserve on its way.
That is not that I deserve. Definitely don't deserve it. That I want.
You want. But yeah, sorry, going back to the comment. Thank you for the comment. It did make me think. We probably, I think we were a bit too harsh, maybe. Simon doesn't agree, probably. I am, no. But yeah, I didn't want it to seem like I just completely ignored you and ignored the comment.
Awesome.
I wanted to
I love
mention
it. I love staying. We're half joking, but
Yeah.
the other half is not joking. So yeah.
Cool. Anyway, the last thing we want to talk about before going into the bands of the Sunday 2024 is the Wednesday morning episode. Do you want to go over that one?
I
Like you did last
shall.
episode?
Hold on, wait. Let me get my list up. I had a fucking list last time, didn't I? Can I do this in a northern accent for our northern viewers and listeners? That's probably really shit. Hey up there, Chuck. Oh, sorry, I'm joking. Actually, wait. No, we're good. Yes, thank you. And Wednesday morning episode. Please send us your audio clips for our special Wednesday / non-Wednesday episode. I don't know yet.
No,
but anyway, it's
I deleted
Go on.
all the bits that I said maybe I won't do it on Wednesday in the last episode.
Did
so
you?
yes,
Okay.
we'll do it for Wednesday.
Right, it is
It'll definitely
Wednesday.
be Wednesday morning to stop
Okay.
confusion.
Sorry, this is confirmed. It's the Wednesday morning episode. So we did these. Have we done this for the last 2 years? Have there been two of
2
these?
years, yeah,
We've done
2
one. It was
years
two,
now.
wasn't it? So for the last 2 years, we've done like a special episode to really give back to you guys, which is we want you to sort of take over for a few minutes and give us the lowdown on download. You know, the reason that you're going or why you go to download. You know, how much you're looking forward to it, what you're looking forward to there. You know, what crazy stuff you're going to get up to, and which bands that that you want to go and see, or who you're looking forward to, or who you think is going to be rubbish, or who you think is going to be great. Either way, we just want to really hear from you, get some short clips of you guys, and we want to put you in the episode so we can all listen to how excited you all are about this year's download, and giving a little bit back to you guys and letting you take over, and me and Adam will shut up for a little while, I guess.
Awesome. Very nicely said. And I just want to add one thing to that, because I'm probably going to put this as a clip on social media sites and TikTok and everything. So last year, I actually tried to get Benji Webb involved. And I messaged him and said, "Look, this is what we're doing. Do you want to be part of it?" And he was like, "Yeah, definitely, I'll be part of it." And I sent him a message saying what he wanted, and he never replied. So we never got anything from him. But I think that was the day that they were winning an award up in London doing something cool.
It's way more. I mean, it's not as important as doing our Wednesday morning episode, but yeah, okay. If anyone knows Benji Webb, have a word.
Yeah, have a word. Everybody messages him. He replies to people all the time on social.
Everybody, could you imagine that? Everyone just bombards him with just stuff. Why haven't you done this Wednesday morning episode? I'm surprised they're not on the lineup. From what I hear, they're Skindred's secret band.
They will be, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, secret band. Yeah.
But yeah, so I wanted to extend this as well to anybody in any of the bands that are playing over the download weekend. Obviously, we're not going to get the likes of Avenged Sevenfold, Limp Bizkit sending anything in, but any of the smaller bands, send us a message in, tell us what you're looking forward to about the weekend, and tell people why they need to come and see you. I know we've got loads and loads of bands following us on TikTok. I don't know how many of them are actually playing. We've had Defects join the Discord, or I think it was Tony from Defects join the Discord.
Did we say anything bad about them last time?
No, because I cut that bit out. I think I only put in the little clip me praising them, and I cut your bit out saying no, I didn't, because you were quite fair to them.
Okay.
You were quite fair. You just basically said they're not for you. But to be honest, I was going to put a clip of every single band out, and I worked out it would be like 3 a day, 2 or 3 a day. It wasn't too much work. It might take me a couple of hours in the evening once the kids are in bed. That's fine. I've done 2 clips over 2 from the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's difficult, dude. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, man. Cool.
Yeah, but that was my plan. I was like, yes, this is what I'm going to do. This will get us probably monetized on TikTok. That would be very nice. But it never happened. I've just been so busy with everything recently.
Don't worry about it, man. You're a busy man. You already do too much.
Yeah, I'd get bored if I did less. I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good then.
Cool. Anyway, so that's everything from the intro that we wanted to say. Long intro again. Last episode was like 20-minute intro as well. Keep this short because we've got lots of bands to talk about. 20-minute intro later. We are going to talk about all of the bands playing on Download Festival 2024 on the Sunday. Let's start with the Dogtooth stage with a band called... I just did that really weird. Let's keep going. With a band called Until I Wake. Until I Wake is a metalcore band from Buffalo, New York, with explosive energy, a good look, fresh new vibe, and a unique sound of their own. Since their debut on January 25th, 2020, they have landed multiple tracks on Spotify's editorial playlist and have broken over 25 million streams. Was it for them? Yeah.
Yes, Until I Wake. Really didn't like the vocals. Was pretty standard metal core / emo. I could hear the pitch correction software trying its hardest.
Huh.
And it was really blatant, unless that's the sort of sound they were going for. Reminded me of the sort of stuff that was coming out in the early 2010s. Definitely not for me. Wasn't for me at all. But I could really hear the pitch correction in his vocals. So either that's the sound they want to go for, or the pitch corrections needed.
Yeah, that's interesting, and I'm going to take us off straight away. I want to talk about something else. It's interesting that you can hear that when Disturbed released The Sound of Silence. So many people on YouTube, like vocal coaches, were reacting to it real time for the first time. And every single one of them noticed an autocorrect, like in the middle of the song, at exactly the same place. And I could not hear it, but they all knew exactly when it was. It's crazy. But
It is, yeah. And I
that's
guess
cool.
when your ears are sort of tuned into it, you can hear it a lot. Disturbed use them live. I could hear it when they played last year.
Really?
A lot of bands do that now. A lot of bands just, if singers that aren't quite as good as they were,
Yeah.
not saying they're bad singers at all, or they weren't great singers at one point, but singers that haven't quite got the lungs or the chords that they used to use pitch correction live. And sometimes it's a lot harder to pick out live because of all that other stuff happening. But yeah, Disturbed were definitely using it last year.
Yeah.
The Offspring use it as well. So if you're going to
Okay.
see the Offspring, it's very evident how much the Offspring use it as well, and it still sounds bad. That means that he's not even singing the right notes, even if they're falsetto.
Yeah.
Or he's not even starting on the right notes, because even with the pitch correction, it still sounds shit. Sorry, I don't want to diss anyone, because like these people have had fantastic careers and they were great singers. But when you start to get older, your voice deteriorates. So it's harder and harder for you to keep up with younger bands and younger singers that are fantastic. Like one of the singers that I consider to be one of the greatest singers of all time, David Coverdale, can't really sing that well anymore. And that's not his fault. He has been one of the greatest singers ever, with one of the biggest pitch ranges, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But his body, his vocals, everything is slowly deteriorating. So he can't reach the notes that he did before. But he doesn't use pitch correction software.
Yeah.
So, it's a thin line to it. And also, do you know what? Sorry, this is to go off on a tangent.
No.
The last Blink-182 album, the one where they rejoined together, the pitch correction on that album is so blatant. It was one of the first things I noticed when I started. It's a good album, but
Yeah.
my God, can you really hear the pitch correction? It's right there, front and center. I notice it so much now.
Yeah. I couldn't
So,
hear that, but I think I've only listened to it the once, and not even all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, watching those Disturbed videos, like seeing people who don't really know Disturbed appreciating him, somebody in our world, it just sort of made me go tingly. It was like a good feeling.
Yeah, that is cool.
It was cool, and I watched loads of them, and it felt the same all the time. And there's been a couple of them that have, a couple of people have done the same for In Search of Sun's latest song, Ariel
Oh,
even.
nice.
And I watched one of them, and just like seeing and hearing her, it gave me the same feeling, like tingly,
Nice. That's
goosebumps,
awesome.
goose pimples. Yeah, it was very cool.
Very cool.
But yeah, back to Until Awake.
Yeah.
I've just written, okay, metalcore band. Nothing really stood out to me like some others have on the bill. That was all I got for them. Next up is Harper. Being a musician at 10 years old is no easy feat. But only 1 year into her music career, Harper has already turned heads and made waves within the rock and metal music scene. Having first burst onto the scene in 2021 with her own rendition of Holy Roller by Spiritbox, the cover put all eyes on Harper, gaining 222,000 plus views and approval from the band themselves. Harper's video was shared worldwide, garnering support from major media and fans alike. Continuing to develop her craft, Harper found guidance from one of the most prominent vocal coaches in the metal scene, Melissa Cross, working closely with her to develop and keep her voice healthy while working on her own material. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a kid that sings metal. Absolutely no interest at all from me.
No. Okay.
Don't know how she's going to sound when her voice changes, because people always talk about boys' voices dropping, but girls' voices change as well. They don't always stay. They don't sound the same as they did when they were tiny little girls. So it'll be interesting to see how her vocals change if she continues to be a musician into her teens.
Yeah.
But yeah, no interest at all from me.
Similar, following from what we said a minute ago, I've written is an interesting one. Sometimes I thought the vocals were a bit overproduced, but you're much better at spotting that kind of thing than me. I don't know if you heard that.
Probably would be very, very, but it's a bit different in that sense, because she's a kid, so that is like perfectly understandable. I have absolutely no qualms with that at all. So
yeah, cool. But I've seen so many people talking about her as well. Yeah, I think
It's
it's going to
cute.
be round.
It will be like a cute, awesome thing to like for her to perform on stage and for everyone to watch her. Like, it's really cool. It's a really cool thing for a kid. So it'll be nice. But for me, I have genuinely no interest in it. So yeah.
Yeah. But I do know her guitarist as well.
Oh,
Yeah, a girl called Georgia, who has been to download with us a couple of times as well, with my group.
oh my God.
Yeah, so I actually messaged her a few weeks back saying, do you want to sort of have a chat for the podcast at some point on the Sunday? I think she's only going to be there for the one day. And she said, yeah, that would be cool. But I do know the Sunday is rammed for a lot of people, so I don't want to take her away from bands that she might want to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's cool.
I'll have plenty of time on Sunday. Loads of it.
Yeah. I broke her tent once. I was doing a nice thing. I was trying to help set the tent up and got one of the poles and it just went right through the top. Gash about 6 inches across.
Did it rain that year?
It did. Luckily, the bit that goes at the top it covered it just about. I felt so bad because I didn't have the money to go and buy her another tent. Like I said, luckily I didn't have to, but if I did have to, I would have felt so bad. I was trying to help as well. I fucking broke it. But yeah, they were cool about it.
That's cool.
But yeah, like I said, it's going to be round in there. I've seen so many. So obviously, this is the same stage that Anti-Saint were on last year, and that was rammed. And I didn't see anybody talking about them on the lead up to download.
No, so you're right. It will definitely be rammed.
So many people talking
100%.
about Harper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. That was Harper. Next up is Pest Control. On some of these are really long, this one. I might not read all of them. Pest Control started during lockdown by 3 friends from Leeds, Joe, Leah and Ben, who had always wanted to make some crossover thrash. Pest Control is a classic story of DIY music straight from a time of crisis. Jack joined on bass shortly after, and in 2022 the demo was released, with Pest Control's first show commencing in their hometown the week lockdown ended. Influenced by classic thrash giants such as Metallica, Testament and Slayer. But with some other crossovers there. I'm not reading the rest of that. It's very long. Thrash, Pest Control. What do you think?
Yeah, I got the invoice and I had all of the rat and mouse traps serviced.
I was not expecting that. It just took me completely by surprise. Excellent. Well done. That was Pest Control. Underside. Hey, no, we got to go back. We can't wargasm this one. That was so good last episode. Wargasm. Yeah. I'm glad we gave people a good laugh.
Oh, did I listen to the good wargasm? It's really good.
It is, yeah.
I genuinely really like it. I was like, this is awesome, man. What the hell?
Yeah. Get them on.
Can Wargasm, can we contact the original members of Wargasm and get a fucking lawsuit going here, please?
Well, they say use Wargasm UK, don't they? Fucking, I don't understand. They could have chosen.
I think there's room there. There's room there for someone to go in and steal it.
Yeah, maybe. Pest Control.
Anyway, sorry. No, Pest Control. Yes, I put thrashy, punky. It was okay.
Yeah,
that
cool.
was my review.
So I've written, despite their influences that I've just read, I thought I had quite a lot of Anthrax in there.
Yeah,
it was a weird sound.
And Anthrax have a lot of punk stuff as well.
Yeah.
So you were totally right.
Well, I don't think I picked up on it being thrash straight away. Vocals sound a bit more old school punky, so I thought it could have been some variation on punk. That's what I wrote.
Dude, you are your brain is starting to fucking woo when it comes to this stuff now. You're absorbing all sorts of shit.
Yeah,
I like it.
Cool. Yes, punky. Yeah, I can hear that now. Now I know it with Anthrax. Now I know what it is. I can go, oh yeah, of course it is. I know that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, cool. That was cool. I want to stop the episode down and go have a beer now.
Anyway,
celebrate.
See you later, guys. Do you want to know who's playing? Read the friggin' lineup. See you later.
That was Pest Control. Underside next. Hailing from the burgeoning Asian metal scene in Nepalese disruptors. Underside. That was weirdly written, I think. And I've got a dot on my screen. It looks like a full stop. That's why I read that one weird. Hailing from the burgeoning Asian metal scene are Nepalese disruptors Underside. Following the near decade-long civil war, these Himalaya metal heavyweights came together in 2010 as a loud and aggressive response to the socio-political situation. The 4-piece band are one of the biggest and best metal bands Nepal has ever seen. they have taken the riotous metal to venues across Europe, Australia, and the UK. What do you think?
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I wrote alternative metal. Vocals gave me an old school new metal vibe. Quite good. Nice to see a small band getting on because they don't have many listeners, which is great. Which is what this stage should be for, really. Yeah, so I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Cool. I just put it's a bit groovy. It's interesting. I can't really place it after that, especially after the second song I put on the playlist, which was Kadimi, which doesn't ring any bells at the moment. But was it like some weird tribal thing? It could have been some weird tribal thing. Sounded a bit like the other band on the other stage. Underside that was Missio. Matthew Brune. Oh, fuck off! Don't tell your names. We don't care about your names. If we want to know your names, we'll look you up. The genre-bending and electric dark duo from Austin, Texas, quickly landed a global radio hit with their first single, Middle Fingers, debuting on Conan O'Brien's late night show and reaching number 9 on the Billboard Alternative charts. As a result of their early success, the duo has since released 3 full-length albums, garnering more than 6 number ones on Sirius XM. Alt Nation with songs like I See You, Bottom of the Deep Blue Sea, and Underground. Missio have partnered with global commercial brands such as Shiseido, Summer's Eve, and Armani, celebrating over 1 million global streams and awards, etc. What do you want? What do you think? I don't like Missio.
Missio, electronica, a very strange addition to the lineup.
Yeah.
I don't see how this is alternative in any way, shape, or form. And don't get me wrong, I love music as well. That is not alternative. But I've put in capital letters rant, and I'm all up for booking bands and stuff that's different. But I don't want to sound like a gatekeeper. But there are thousands of good bands out there, and this is what you book for your download lineup. I just think that this one's just a step too far. I feel like kind of, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like,
I think I've written a rant as well. What
are we like? There's loads of stuff that's different, and it's great to have different stuff. But if you start having stuff that's all different, then where is the metal coming in?
Yeah.
And everyone's been complaining about, like, some of the stuff on the lineup this year is just baffling. And I'm not even, we're not talking about Busted.
No.
Busted have every right to play this festival, and are the least ones that don't fit in. Like, listening to all these bands, it's just baffling, some of the things. And I think that this one, nothing against these guys, because the music actually is really good. I quite liked it. I love electronica stuff, but it's just has no place at download. And that I know that might make me sound like a gatekeeper, but what are we doing? what are we doing? Just someone tell me what we're doing, and when I understand what we're doing, then I'll accept it. But it's baffling. A baffling one for me.
So Bryn, look, I'm getting fed up of shit dub hop bands or whatever the hell they are. I have no idea what I'm listening to or why. I've written "See Me Later." I don't know why I put "See Me Later."
See me later. See me later.
I don't know why.
Nothing against them, their music. I listened to 4 or 5 songs. It was great. I thought it was really, really good stuff. But it's not fit for a download lineup.
No.
It's so weird.
If it keeps going this way, it'll be more like Reading and Leeds. And you got Reading and Leeds for that. Maybe Reading, Leeds and Derby. Reading, Leeds
listen, it's not even the fact that they're playing, because that's fine. They're on the lineup, they're playing. Great. I hope people enjoy it. But there are thousands of bands out there that you could have picked to fill this spot. Thousands of people aching, clawing at the bit to get onto a small stage at download. And this is what you put on. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't.
You do have a very, very good point. I didn't think about it in a sensible way.
This isn't promoting alternative music. This is just putting on something that's not alternative at all.
Yeah.
It's completely getting the point of having a small stage at download.
It says it there. Global commercial brands such as 2 things I've never heard of, and Armani. You don't have a band that play download sponsor it up being a commercial for Armani.
True. Yeah, I mean, I guess probably Bring Me the Horizon could do an Armani advert.
Bring Me the Horizon could do whatever they want. That's why everyone's trying to do Bring Me the Horizon this year.
Yeah, So I don't know. Like, alternative music at the moment, not alternative, I would say metal in general. I mean, it's not in a very good place at the moment. We can admit that from a commercial standpoint, from a gig standpoint, everything. It's not in the best place.
Bloodstock
So
Metal
this
to the
is not
Masses
doing-
will
this
tell
is-
you differently.
That's true,
Exactly
yeah.
like
But
you
then,
said,
where
thousands of
are
bands.
these? Where are those bands?
Yeah, thousands of them.
Thousands of bands. Yeah, I mean, you go to Metal to the Masses. Some of these bands are more than good enough to play on a small stage at Download.
Yeah.
And again, this is nothing against Missio at all. Nothing against them. They're not the ones booking the festival. They've been booked to play. So nothing against them at all. Why is there not a band on there from that, that everyone likes that has been playing Metal to the Masses? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Don't get it. And
Yeah.
I think this is why we're fair on this podcast, because we're not just going to lick Download's arse all the time, because they know they get things wrong. We've been in a room with them saying they get things wrong.
Yeah.
and and they'll always try and do better. But I genuinely feel that they should look at this and think about it for next year,
Yeah.
because
I agree.
we need to promote new fresh bands to come up, not stuff like this, which is great, but just think it's just I'm not sure.
Yeah. We need to move on. I think that's probably the first time I've ever said that. We need to move on. We just stick around on this for another hour. We do. You have a very good point. I can't believe we had exactly the same answer pretty much. But yeah, I really do hope they are listening, and because people aren't shouting about Missio, people are shouting out Busted, and that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any. That never made sense when people
No.
shout at Busted. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
On God's green earth? Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. But
That's
anyway,
the real gatekeepers.
yeah.
I'm gatekeeping, trying to keep this festival going and keeping it alternative. That's what I'm gatekeeping.
Yeah.
I don't care if Busted play the festival.
Yeah. Cool. Right, that was Missio. Go and listen to them if you want. Fuck me.
It is good. It's good.
Was
If
it?
you like electronica stuff, you'll really like it.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's good.
I didn't like it. I don't like electronica stuff.
There you go.
But there we go. Next up was Crystal Lake. Formed in Tokyo in 2002, Crystal Lake is a dynamic 5-piece band. Their distinctive sound draws from hardcore and metalcore influences, seamlessly blending infectious melodies with a powerful heaviness. Their exceptional music has garnered widespread recognition internationally, surpassing national boundaries. With their relentless and electrifying stage presence, Crystal Lake continues to captivate audiences worldwide. Now with the addition of a new vocalist, John, the band is determined to forge a new chapter in their history.
Nice. Yeah, Crystal Lake. They call themselves metalcore, but I think it bridges more on deathcore with a little bit of prog in places. It was really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think I thought the same, but I just put okay-ish. Nothing jumps at me about them either. I do think I was getting a bit burnt out at this point.
Was it on random?
No, I was listening to it all the way through, and then all the way through.
Okay.
To try and make it even. So I listened to the band.
Oh, okay.
Try and get it.
That makes
so
sense.
if I had to stop at one point, I'll try and carry on from there downwards. I think there's a band coming up that I will want to talk about that a bit more. So I won't go into it now. So that was Crystal Lake. Next up is Brand of Sacrifice. And there was a lot of these that weren't on the Download Festival website. And so I had them blank, thinking, it'll be a shorter episode. And then I saw them on Spotify. All the long ones, the really long ones, are not on the download site. So
because they're like,
it's just they're
no,
lazy.
not putting that on there.
I'm certain last year you could just copy the text from Spotify. You can't do it now. I've had to use like the cutting tool and cut out the thing and then paste it into my text document, which Download could have done, but I think they're just being lazy. They didn't want to retype all of this stuff.
To be fair, they've got a lot to do from someone just copying descriptions from Spotify. So fair play to them, I guess.
Yeah. Cool. Brand of Sacrifice. Since 2018, like I said, this is a long one. I ain't going to read all of it. Since 2018, Toronto-based deathcore quintet Brand of Sacrifice have been imprinting their mark on the heavy music scene. Dubbed the Branded Ones, the group's fan... Oh, that's quite cool. I do like that. The group's fans joined and marched with them as they tour across the globe in support of their sophomore album, Lifeblood, which debuted on 8 separate Billboard charts, on 8 separate Billboard charts, and earned them a Juno nomination for Metal Album of the Year. Fans at any Brand of Sacrifice show will be familiar with set closer Eclipse and its ending. No, that's not interesting. The band draws its name from popular anime series Berserk by Kentaro Miura. That's it. That's all I'm reading from that one. Yeah, Brand of Sacrifice. What do you think?
Deathcore wasn't bad.
All right. That right up was taking up the whole of my screen. I have to scroll down to see what I said. Nah, not for me. Oh, yeah. Okay, right. Nah, not for me. Actually, they don't sound bad. I think I've just listened to too much new music in a short time. Definitely trying to get familiar with the bands a lot earlier next year. So, exactly what I just said. I think I've listened to all of these bands for 2 weeks non-stop between each episode. And yeah, I think I'm just got a bit burnt out. It could have been anything. You know, I definitely got burnt out of the alt pop. You know, I was fed up with listening to them. But it could have been new metal. It could have been anything. It was just listening to too many similar bands.
You just too much. I do feel like, though, because this lineup is so all over the place, it's been a way more difficult listen than in other years. And like we were just talking about, everything doesn't have to be the same. As long as it's alternative, it could be any type of alternative, all the way from pop to the most disgusting death, whatever you've heard, anything in between. But for some reason, I have found, and especially this day, it's been a really, for parts where stuff's popped out, I've been like, oh my God, I've just discovered a band that I legitimately love. But then on the flip side of that, some of the bands have been really difficult to get through. And that's nothing against, it's just some stuff that I prefer to other stuff. But yeah, I agree with you. This has been, out of the three we've done, this has been the most strenuous one.
Okay.
Out of listening to all the bands.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't so much burnout then. Maybe it is just these bands in general as well.
It's a lot of flip-flopping.
Yeah.
I think your brain's like, I'm over here now. And sometimes that's really good. But I think because we've listened to so many, your brain's just going, oh, what's next?
But yeah, so much metalcore as well. Like we haven't had any ska bands. That'd be cool to have some ska bands, really.
I do say ska, and it's one of the other bands.
Zebrahead,
so
maybe Zebrahead or
a little bit.
That, yeah. But we could have more. I don't like ska, but we could have more. So many metalcore. To go back to like some new metal bands or something, some really chuggy, heavy stuff. It's either metalcore, alt pop, or fucking heavy. That's the three things.
There's no in between this year. It's like dun dun dun. It's true. But we've said it before. It's not the most balanced lineup of all time. It is. No. It's everywhere. This lineup and that will either make it the best download or one of the worst ones from a lineup perspective, not from a festival perspective.
Yeah.
But we don't know that yet. So people might come after this year and go, oh my God, that was so much more interesting than normal download, because every single stage I went to, I was like, God knows what I'm going to see and witness. And that might be really interesting for people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we won't know it till after. But yeah, I'm with you 100%.
Cool. Excellent. That was Brand of Sacrifice. Next is Imminence. The Black is Here from Sweden with Love. Swedish alternative metalcore outfit. Imminence has during the latest years established their own highly unique brand and pushing the genre beyond extents of anyone's expectations. With the distinct use of classical string arrangements blended with the influence of ferocious Scandinavian metal, the sound and visual universe of the quintet stands out as one of the most innovative and exciting acts on the market today. There's more, I ain't reading it. That's all the interesting bits. We don't want to know about the albums or band members. Carry on. What would you think?
Weird mix of metal, some alternative stuff, loads of orchestral elements that I liked. Reminded me, with the vocals and those orchestral bits in the background, of some of the stuff that Bring Me Down on Sempiternal, but not like ripping it off. I felt like it had some of the same sort of soundscapes and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd have to give them another listen to give them my full attention. But from what I heard, interesting, and has piqued me enough to go back and I want to listen to some more.
Cool. Yeah, I think they're not what I initially thought. I first noticed them when they were first announced, and I listened to like a playlist of all the bands that were announced at the time. And I thought I would really like them. Listening to them some more. And I don't dislike them. They're a bit slower than I initially thought. And I think I might like them quite a bit more with more listens. Same as you. I want to listen to some more, basically.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. They've piqued our interest for us to go back and
Yeah.
make a further decision down the line.
Yeah. They are Swedish
Which I
after all.
like.
So definitely for me. Yeah, that was Imminence. Next up is Shadow of Intent. Shadow of Intent is an American metal band based in New England, originally formed by Ben Dwyer and Chris Wiseman in 2014. The band name and lyrics were originally derived from lore from the Halo franchise, and since then the band's subject matter has become more dark and personal. While maintaining an element of fantasy and wonder, the band's music is heavily built off of various different genres of metal, including death metal, black metal, symphonic metal, progressive metal, and metalcore, and Black and Decker metal.
Black and Decker metal. Oh my god! Please invent that. Shadow of Intent. Yes, deathcore / metalcore was okay.
Cool. Yeah,
I just say quickly. I'm really not into deathcore at the moment. I go through massive stages with it, but I'm so burnt out on deathcore bands.
Yeah.
Like now, when I hear deathcore, and we'll get to on this lineup, I think is probably the best or one of the best deathcore bands. But I'm really burnt out on it. Like as soon as I hear it's deathcore, I kind of go, I'm going to give it a minute, and if it's really high quality, I might go back.
Yeah.
But if it's just standard, I'm not going to listen to it at the moment. I'm really out of it. Been taken out of it. The last few years, I was really into it, but I think it's become a little bit oversaturated for my liking.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
I know all the rest of the guys, like in our Bloodstock group, are just deathcore mad.
Yeah.
But I pick my deathcore bands very particularly. So
yeah. Cool. So I've written, quite good. Have a cool melodic symphonic sound that grabs you. I like the piano intros, but it's not too much, but enough to get your attention. Not like a minute-long piano. Not that they would put a minute-long one, but it's only about 3 or 4 seconds and then kicks in with the music, and I thought that was quite cool. I've never been a big deathcore fan. It's just not what I listen to, but I am liking them a bit more at the moment. Yeah,
there's some really, really good deathcore bands out there. It's just I've listened to too much. I think I've burnt myself out.
Yeah, fair. That was Shadow of Intent. Next up is Fit for a King. It's a fucking long one again. I wish I'd not looked. I wish I'd just kept these. Huh?
Just do the good bits. Don't worry about when they talk about albums.
No, that's what I've been trying to do.
All these filter out as much as you can.
So this is another one with a screenshot. So obviously it was blank on the Download Festival website. I wish I'd not looked. I wish I just said they haven't got a bio.
Bio.
But no, I found it on Spotify, so I have to read the fucking thing.
You've done too much research.
Yeah, I have. Trauma and tragedy transfer from one generation to the next. What do you think about Fit for a King?
Metalcore didn't like it. That was my comment. Sorry to anyone else, because they're quite high up on the lineup, but didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I'll put a bit more fun metalcore. Odd to have them here, but will be a bit fun. Simon will not like these.
Okay. Well judged.
Because it was like Shadow of Intent really heavy, and Fit for a King Era. Everyone's talking about Era. They're quite heavy, and then Black Dahlia Murder. So it's odd. They should have been in a different place, but never mind. That was Fit for a King Era. I think that's how you say it. Determination and steadfast. Another long one. Determination and steadfast dedication have defined Era's path, forging a unique connection with an ever-growing audience without the advantages of traditional recognition. On their career-defining self-titled fifth studio album, Era, the band confront depression, anxiety, and desperation throughout. They take listeners on a near out-of-body journey to... I don't know that word. I'm not meant to know the word. It's Japanese. Aokigahara. I'll give you a second. Not you, the listeners. You might. I take a guess that you don't know it. Which is the infamous suicide forest of Japan. It goes on after that, but I've messed up the sentence, so it's not going to make much sense. They talk about cool stuff. What do you think of Era?
Music is good.
I can't say the suicide forest is cool. I can't say they talk about cool stuff after saying that. They're deep, basically. They're deep. What do you think of Era?
Well, no, but writing about it's cool.
Yeah.
The actual thing itself isn't cool.
Yeah.
I mean, most most bands write about death.
Yeah.
It's not cool, is it? But it's cool to write about it.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
They're writing about it. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. The music is good. Do you know what's weird? This is a complete flip to what I normally like. You know when I normally say the harsh vocals are really good and the cleans are rubbish?
Yeah.
Totally the other way around for this
Okay.
band. Really don't like his screaming vocals, but I really, really like the clean vocals. I think it's got a fantastic voice. But it's a bit too, I don't know, it's a bit too genty, metalcore-y. I don't know. There's something about it that it feels proggy in places as well, which I really like. So I think I'm going to have to, like, Era's another one that's sort of gone, come inside and have a sit down. Drink it in for a bit before you make your final decision, which it has done for me. But I think his clean vocals are really great. He's got really great falsetto from a singing perspective. Yeah, really like it.
Awesome. Yeah, they didn't grab me. But like I said, I've seen so many people talking about Era. A lot of people in the Discord, I know Stu has been talking about him quite a bit. And yeah, I was just surprised that I'd never heard of him. Well, I was surprised that I've never heard of him. Other people have, because of who I am. But I was surprised that I've only just recently heard about them when everybody seems to be talking about them, which is odd. Like, as soon as they were announced, a few people in the Discord was like, "Yeah, Era, it's gonna be awesome." I don't think I get it though. They're okay. I'm not as keen as some others that I've said on here. I don't think. I might have another listen. That was Era. So the next up is who I assume we were talking about a minute ago, the Black Dahlia Murder. The Black Dahlia Murder has proven, despite tragedy, to be an unstoppable force. Formed in Oak Park, MI, in 2001, the melodic...
Where's that?
Michigan.
Go on, Ad.
Of course it's Michigan.
Okay.
Is it Michigan?
It probably is, but I thought you were going to try and come up with another African state or something.
No, I fucking just pulled that right out of my ass at the last second. I could not think of what it was. Is Michigan a state?
It might, but it probably will be. Yeah,
Oak Park.
I would guess that. Yeah,
Michigan sounds right. It sounds right. Yes, I would have said something odd if I thought about it, but I couldn't think of anything odd either. Anyway, in 2001, the Melodic Death Unit has spent 2 decades working their collective ass off in the near-relentless cycle of drop killer album Tour Hard and Long, earning... That was a weird sentence. Earning the love and respect of the metal community. That was Black Dahlia Murder.
I normally really like stuff that they the sort of music they play. But I've never been able to like Black Dahlia Murder.
Oh.
Even back in the day when I knew people that really liked them. We're talking like between 06 and 09 days when I knew people that really, really liked Black Dahlia Murder. I could never get into this band. And listening now, still not for me.
Okay.
Even though it's the type of music that I normally really like. I don't know what it is. I've never been able to get into this band.
Yeah, cool. I've never really listened to them until this episode, and I've written again some really cool hooks or riff parts. I couldn't quite work out which bits it was like that sounded cool, but it all sounds quite cool. Like, and I found myself being able to hear all the different parts for some reason.
Nice.
Somehow, like it's odd for me to be able to do that. I was written. Yeah, the Black Dahlia Murder are cool. That's it. After I said that, but I did quite like them. Yeah, I think they were right. So they were headlining the Dogtooth stage, the Black Dahlia Murder.
I've just put at the bottom. Not gonna lie, that stage was a tough listen.
Yeah,
I've just put that at the bottom to just say I don't know what it was about that stage, but that was a tough listen. That stage, it really was. It gets better from here on out.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was a real tough listen for me. Some of that.
Oh, okay.
And again, not dissing any of the bands.
Yeah.
If you like them, you like them. If you're in the band, fantastic. You crack on. It's just a lot of it wasn't for me.
Cool. Okay, so moving on to the Avalanche stage. Opening the Avalanche stage is Delilah Bonn. Are you laughing at this one? UK artist Delilah Bonn effortlessly blends mischievous lyrical hip-hop, hard-hitting new metal, and bratty riot girl punk into a style she calls brat punk. Empowering women, non-binary and LGBTQ+ people worldwide through her fierce lyrics and feminine rage. Delilah is not one to shy away from serious topics, but her music is also mischievous and fun, building soundscapes and characters, unafraid to let her creativity flow between genres. That's it.
Delilah Bar, I've just written alt pup, not good.
Not good.
This hurt my ears.
Really? Okay.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people out there love it, and this is exactly the sort of thing. But I don't think this was made for me, and it hurt my ears.
Yeah. I've written a very angry young lady.
True, yeah. Fair play though. She's doing well, so fair play to her. But yeah, definitely not my thing at all.
Yeah, I was written, but to be honest, most certainly justified with some of the topics that I heard from her songs, and it has a similar kind of vibe to like Rage Against the Machine. You remember I said when I listened to them a while ago, I got angry.
Mm-hmm.
I got angry at the system, angry at the world, angry at the government and the famous people for not stepping up. And that's exactly how they want you to feel. That's what the music is designed to make you feel. And it worked.
It's hard to portray that in music as well. So I feel like if you can get that across,
if
it comes through in the music, that you've achieved something. Because a lot of bands try to do that and it really doesn't come through.
Yeah. And I thought, I'd imagine a lot of her fans who listen to this sort of thing a lot are exactly the same. Angry at the topics she talks about. Basically about men are bastards. As far as I can figure out from the two songs I listened to, which, like I said, is justified. But to be honest, I don't want to open this can of worms. I feel like we'd have to go delve into it a lot deeper. But yeah, so just on the surface, she's correct. We are. That was Delilah Bond opening the Avalanche stage. Next up,
close to Delilah Bond, because Delilah's quite a nice name.
Yeah. And next up is Symmetry Sun. I don't know what to say. Maybe it is, I guess. Embracing the post-genre. I just read this earlier. Does that mean like they think there's no genres at all anymore? I don't know. Embracing the post-genre world with a unique cocktail of hooks, heart, and restless creativity, Sacramento's Symmetry Sun have consistently evolved and blazed their own trail since forming back in 2015. From the anthemic overtones and unfiltered lyrics of breakthrough single Fake Love, which has racked up well over 13 million plays on Spotify, to the bittersweet... What do you think of them?
Alt rock band. I didn't like the vocals or the music.
Okay. I didn't mind it. I saw written, a completely different, unique sound. Probably not unique, but I couldn't think of a better word to put in there. I could see myself getting into this. It feels like a chill after a barbecue kind of band. You would put this on when everybody's just sat there with wanting to go into a food coma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see that.
Just as the sun's setting, you have these on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll stick them on when I'm in the garden, and maybe I'll change my mind.
Maybe, yeah.
Look at that. Well done.
Excellent. That was Cemetery Sun. Next up is, a short one. Beautiful. Noisy. And their write-up just says, it's too fucking noisy. That's it. I've written more than that.
Good write. It's a good write-up. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Electronica with elements of pop rock stuff. Not for me. And another really weird one for Download to put on. I don't think it quite fits in with anything else. But it reminded me of, do you remember the pop artist Example, who was out
No, I don't.
late noughties, early 2010s? Anyway, really reminded me of Example. But again, I'm not sure how much this should be on a Download lineup, but that's not for me to decide.
Yeah, maybe one day. I've put a similar feel to Cemetery Sun. Chill as the sun goes down. It sounded like the kind of thing you'd hear in a club again, with a sort of very repetitive lyrics. I think it was the verses and the choruses as well. Like they was just repeating the same thing quite a lot. It did grow on me a little bit though, I would say.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I thought it was good. Just another weird one for Download to put on.
Yeah, definitely. That was Noisy. Next up is Pink Shift. Pink Shift aren't an apologetic band. In fact, they're a heavy, vehemently unapologetic punk band whose songs rail against prejudice and oppression while also examining in great depth the human condition. That's it for them. Very nice. Thank you, Pink Shift. I appreciate you.
Thank you for your write-up. Yeah, rock/alternative, shades of Paramore, and similar stuff was okay. Not for me.
Okay. I don't know what I was thinking of this. Maybe my brain just went to mush at this point, but I was like, I don't like or dislike Pink Shift. I don't think I can form any kind of opinion on them. I have no idea why. Nothing stands out to me, but nothing's particularly bad either. I was just like, what is this? I don't know what to do.
Okay, so right down the middle, straight down the line.
Yeah.
No veering off.
No, I was just
no idea.
I tried listening to them like while I was doing the write-up, and I was like, what can I say about them? And I was like, there is nothing. It's just like a void when I'm listening to them. Nothing comes into my head.
That's amazing.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're going for.
This is great. I'm just yeah. This is the yeah. I've never heard someone describe a band like that before. This is great.
I couldn't.
I wish I could send you that GIF of that Tim and Eric bit where he's going. Because I think that's what your brain is slowly doing. We can going through all these bands.
Yeah.
Like before, when you're like, I can hear all the instruments individually. I can hear it all. Like something's like happening to your brain where it's just like going to some new next level. I like it.
Yeah, cool. That was Pink Shift.
Does that mean we definitely have to go and see Pink Shift now?
No, I don't want to go see Pink Shift.
Why not?
Well, there might be...
I want to see your brain melt.
Oh, wow. All right. We'll see who else is on at the time.
Okay.
Next up is Tiger Cub, a 7-foot frontman, radio host, and music historian. Hall is literally larger than life. Tiger Cub's music has always sounded similarly colossal, from the band's 2016 debut, Abstract Figures in the Dark, to 2021's As Blue as Indigo. Those records represented two different sides of the Brighton-based band, hinting at diverse influences like Led Zeppelin, Slipknot. That's Chopin? Have they literally put Chopin as an influence? And or is there somebody called Chopin? I'm assuming it's Chopin, the classical. Anyway, in between Slipknot and Sonic Youth, Chopin. Cool. For Tiger Cub's third album, Jamie and his two bandmates, drummer. Fuck off. What do you think of Tiger Cub?
Not that my description's not that long. Alt rock was okay.
Go.
I'm sorry. Like we sound so miserable on this day. Like
yeah,
like we're just panning off almost everything. I like we don't want to sound like two miserable old men, even though we're only 25. This is genuinely just how I feel about some of these bands. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's just my opinion. Don't have to take one for that. Yeah, it was fine.
I've put this is a Muse / Queens of the Stone Age mashup, right? I did hear some Muse in the guitars.
I didn't hear any Queens. I didn't get a Queens vibe, but
yeah,
me and you see Queens of the Stone Age from two very different sides.
Yeah, we do. No, I've never been.
Although I really can't wait to be standing next to Queens of the Stone Age, watching you watch them live, so you can be thrilled by their musicianship. So
yeah, I might be. I might well be.
You will be.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I've never been a big fan of Muse, but I ended up watching a video on one of their songs the other day. One that doesn't have a meaning. Many people have asked them what it means, and he just comes up with different things every time, different reasons. I can't remember which one it is now. But it was just like a really cool video, and it made me want to listen to him a bit more. I've never listened to him that much.
I like a lot of Muse stuff, but I was a bit disappointed when who said this to me? I can't remember that Matt Bellamy is just an absolute douche. Apparently,
I don't know. From seeing what he was like on this YouTube video, I think he's probably just really awkward and doesn't know how to talk to people. That's I'd say that's more likely than anything else. Cause
could be. I've heard that big time douche, but
maybe I
do
don't know.
like a lot of like a lot of Muse stuff.
Yeah, could be
a lot of Muse stuff. So,
I've literally got one YouTube video to go on, so I could very well not be correct on that.
I mean, I look nice, don't I, during my YouTube videos, and you know what I'm really like. So he could be a douche.
I do cut 6 hours out of these episodes. I have to. We would just be strung up if I put those bits in. Anyway, right, Tiger Cub. I mean, they're probably all right. Tiger Cub. Next up is Atreyu. Atreyu are a band in the truest sense of the word. Oh, this is a long one. Truest sense of the word. 5 friends who came together to create music for themselves, for each other, and for the thriving community that has forged around it. There are bonds born of time, of joy and sadness. This sounds like it should be read in a church. They are bonds born of time, of joy and sadness, of success and hardship. Amen. But most importantly,
Amen.
Ramen. Sorry, that's what we say in Pastafarianism. Ramen.
Oh, of course.
But most importantly, they are born of an openness that allows 5 unique creative personalities to unite in something far stronger and far bigger than the sum of its talented parts. It's what makes Atreyu frontman Brandon Saller guitar. Oh, fuck off! I don't know. Can't give out names again. What do you think about Atreyu?
Yeah. I haven't listened to them in a very long time. They've changed a bit, haven't they?
They have. Yeah.
They're originally like metalcore, emo core.
Yeah.
Now they're way more sort of just rock stuff, which is good, but it's like very tonally different to what they were before.
Yeah.
I was really into their first couple of albums, like big time. Curse and Sailing Ships, and the other one I can't remember. But like I said, I probably haven't listened to them 10, 15 years maybe. So it was a bit of a shock listening to them now and being like, wow, okay, that's what they sound like. But it's still really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, good band. And they got loads of bangers. They got loads of good tunes. I saw them live, but it was a long time ago, so I have no idea how they're doing stuff live now.
Yeah.
But back in the day, they were a great live band to see.
Was it a download?
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, second stage, 2005,
100%.
2006 sort of time.
Yes.
Yeah. I was there for that.
Oh, we could have been standing next to each other.
Could have been.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Could have been standing next to each other. I'd have been like, who's this prick?
But yeah, I remember saying to a friend of mine at the time, like, why? Because he had 3 kick drums. And I was like, why's he got 3 kick drums? I don't understand. And I've never known until within the last year. I've always asked that question to lots of people, and I didn't even ask it to my friend. Do you know the answer?
I have no idea.
So apparently, this is according to a friend who I didn't ask, but told me anyway, the answer to a question I've wondered for almost 20 years.
Wait, hold on. Is it double kick and single kick?
Apparently not. It's because the drummer does a lot of singing, so he can turn around to do different parts of the kit, and he can turn back and sing, and he's got two kick drums wherever he is.
That makes sense.
Yeah. This made sense to me as well, but like I said, that might not be right. I never fact-checked it, but this guy was a big fan of Atreyu, so he might be right.
He would have known.
Yeah,
cool.
The whole time I was
Awesome.
like, why 3 kick drums? It doesn't make any sense. But yeah.
Yeah, that is a bit, yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoy Trey's new sound. I really do. I've talked about it on the podcast a few times within the last sort of year.
You have.
I was
mentioning their new stuff as well, haven't you? How good it is.
And I did say, I thought they had 3 albums out this year. I was wrong. It's just the way bands are doing things these days. I'm an old man and I'm not out with the times. They released probably 4 songs. Then they released an extra song on top of those 4, and then an extra song. But they would have different covers and call it different things each time. So they didn't release 2 albums. They just released 2 EPs and then put them together or something. And then they added a 3rd EP and then put it all together as an album.
Onto an album, get you.
So yeah, they didn't release 3 albums like I originally thought. But yeah, I still really like their new sound. I think the only song of theirs I knew from back in the day was The Right Side of the Bed, which...
That's a big tune.
Yeah, but it's like you said, you would place that with bands like Funeral for a Friend and emo core bands from back then or whatever it was.
Definitely, yeah. It's loads of screaming, quite heavy riffs. Yeah.
But there's nothing like it anymore. Nothing like it. It'd be it'd be interesting to see if they still play some of that stuff live as well. Like exactly the same as you said. Another one I would have,
because they don't have the same singer, do they? The front man.
I didn't know that. I've just read it probably.
Yeah,
I've just read it.
He must have left. I'm sure it's just the drummer that sings now, right? And the actual singer who does the screaming.
Oh yeah, it does.
I'm pretty
it does
sure he
say
left like
bassist
ages ago.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he left. So I don't know
right
who does the screaming anymore.
Cool. It would be interesting to see them. I think I'm definitely going to go and see them. They have got on, I think it's Drowning. The intro to that song is exactly the same as a raunchy song. The intro to a raunchy song.
Really?
Yeah. note for note, I always think it's raunchy when it comes on. But yeah, I'm definitely going to go see them. Also, another band that I would have sort of thought was very similar around the time was All That Remains. They were big around the same time as well.
Oh, yeah.
And they're bringing out a new
definitely.
album as well for the first time in something like 6 or 8 years. So
Okay.
that'd be cool. We'll go
Nice.
backwards.
Like that. Okay.
But yeah, that was Atreyu. Up next is Hoobastank. Probably don't really. Well, I was going to say probably don't need to say much about Hoobastank, but I probably do. I'll go into that after. On November 20th, 2021, Hoobastank celebrated 20 years of their self-titled release, Hoobastank. The 2001 album launched the career of the band to mainstream success with huge singles including Crawling in the Dark, Running Away, and Remember Me, all of which have since been certified RIAA Platinum. Almost two decades later, the band is still clocking in at over 6 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and Crawling in the Dark has surpassed the 100 million streaming mark across DSPs. I don't know what that is. Digital sales somethings? Never heard that before. What have you written about Hoobastank?
Yeah. Obviously, old school new metal / alternative band. Yeah, they've got some bangers. I watched them do the album in full in 2019, which was really, really good.
Yeah.
It's a great album. And yeah, they've got other bangers as well. I really do like Hoobastank. They've got some bangers. He's got a great voice. And yeah, they're really good. If no one else is playing at the same time, I will probably most likely go and watch Hoobastank. But yeah, saw them in 2019 do the album in full, and it was fantastic.
Yeah,
really good.
Where was that?
Enjoyed every minute.
Was that their own show?
Yeah, it was It was them and Buckcherry. It's Buckcherry supporting.
Okay.
It was in Bristol. It was great.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so what I was saying a minute ago, I feel like a lot of the younger people might not know who Hoobastank are, despite how big they were.
Yeah.
Because they just sort of went away for a long time. Even though they probably didn't go away, they just weren't in the mainstream, and people weren't talking about them anywhere near as much. I think this is the same as the All American Rejects as well. I fucking loved their album When the World Comes Down. It was released about 15 years ago, I think, and I haven't heard anything from them since.
Yeah.
So, I think I asked a couple of sort of the younger guys in work, so I think probably like between 26 and 28 years old, something like that, if they'd ever heard of Hoobastank, and they're like, no. I was like, they're massive. You've not heard of them. So, I mean,
they were massive.
Yeah.
They were huge, but this is just more than 20 years ago, dude.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like,
yeah.
How somebody could be as big as they were, just drop off so much. Even though everybody who liked them back in the day probably never stopped listening to them or kept them.
You'll probably find as well that they're much bigger in America than they are here.
Could be, yeah.
So it might be a saliva situation where here everyone's just like, eh? And then you go to America and everyone's like, ah. So
yeah.
I think that will have a lot to do with it as well. They're definitely more of an American-based band.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting, just how big they were. Yeah. Cool. But yes, I don't think I ever listened to an album, but I do really, really like a lot of the singles that I'd heard. I probably should have listened to an album by now, I guess. But it's the same as we've said loads of times before. They were big when you couldn't just stream these songs online. You had to buy the album. So maybe that's why.
The first 3 albums, so Hoobastank, The Reason, and Every Man for Himself, are all really good, solid albums.
Yeah.
With great tracks on them. So you could pretty much pick any of them and listen and be like, that's decent.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, but I'll probably watch them download if, like you said, depending on clashes and everything. But yeah, that was Hoobastank. Next up, I think they are subheadlining. Yes, subheadlining. The Avalanche stage on the Sunday is Counterparts. Since forming in 2007, Counterparts made up of Murphy guitar. Yeah, we've got a very interesting write-up. What do you think of Counterparts?
Counterparts, metalcore / emocore, good in parts, but not for me. That was supposed to be a joke because they're called Counterparts.
Yeah.
And I wrote good in parts. So, yeah. It's a bad one. It's a subtle one.
Yeah. Somebody joined the Discord last night. Fuck. Oh, and the name was Polarized, and I replied saying, I'm not sure how I feel about this. And I don't know, either it was that bad nobody cared, or people just didn't really
Didn't get it.
Get it.
Didn't get it. Didn't get it. Fantastic.
So, yeah.
I would have laughed at that.
They haven't spoken in the Discord since. That was like about 24 hours
okay.
ago. I think.
If you're listening to this, did you find it funny?
Yeah. Do you think it was just quite rude? Maybe that's why
They're
you
going to
haven't
leave.
spoken.
They're going to leave now. They're going to be like, no, bye.
Maybe they have already left. I've
enough
had
of
that. I've seen that before. People join and people say stuff to them, and I look at their members list and I go, "Oh, they're not even here anymore." It doesn't tell you when people leave. Yeah. I think there might have been Tony from Defect. Yeah. I think it might have been Tony from Defects. People were still trying to talk to him.
Okay.
It's gone. Anyway, yeah, I'm not really fussed about Counterparts. It was weird. It seemed a bit strange. I mean, they're probably quite big. I'd never really heard of them before this. It seems odd to have Hoobastank, then them, then The Used. Maybe switch them and Hoobastank around, but like I said, I've not heard of them. Doesn't mean they're not big, so I don't know. But yes, I've just given it away. Spoilers. Spoiler alert. The Used are headlining the Avalanche stage. The Used, established in 2000, The Used was brought to life and have since released a collection of albums that pioneered the scene of emo rock. High-energy live shows, gut-wrenching relatable lyrics and melodies that blended pop sensibility and hard rock was the perfect combination to make an everlasting impression of fans globally. The Used is our old mate Bert and some other people. There you go. What do you think? I know you like The Used. I quite like The Used.
I love The Used. Yeah, really great band. Emo slash... I mean, see emo. Only their first few albums are emo. Everything after that has been either alternative rock, verging on getting almost into metal in parts where it gets quite heavy and dark. People only say emo because the first two albums were emo-y. I don't really think they're an emo band at all. They kind of just got branded with that because they were around the same time. But I do think they're more of an alt rock band than an emo band.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, they've been pretty consistent with their albums, and there are probably 4 or 5 Used albums that I legitimately love. Like, I think are solidly amazing albums.
Yeah.
And they got bangers. Like every album have bangers. Like they're just really good at crafting songs. Bert's got an absolutely fantastic voice. The band are great. They're just a really great band. It's really great that they're headlining the stage.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good choice. I think that if you're there watching The Used, and me and Adam only saw them last year, they're really good. I think you're going to have a fantastic time watching The Used if you're really looking forward to them, because they were really great when we saw them in Bristol. So they're probably playing on some at the same time, probably as some bands that I would see more because I haven't seen them as recently as I've seen The Used.
Yeah.
But if I was hard pressed and like, oh, you have to go watch The Used, I would be thrilled. So yeah, like it's fine. It's just that unfortunately this day goes from no bands I really want to see at all to 3 bands clashing at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's a bit towards the top end it gets really annoying. But The Used are great. So yeah, wicked.
Yeah. Same. I'm not as big a fan as you. My fiance might be the first time I've said that. It's a bit weird saying that. No, maybe not the first time, but I don't say it very often. It's her favourite band of all time. That's the reason why we came to see him with you. But I do really like a lot of their songs. I think this was probably the start of when I could put songs that I like on instead of their top songs to try and get into them. I was like, I know my opinion, and I think my favourite song of theirs is probably "Cry." I fucking love that song.
It's a great song.
Such a good song. Yeah.
Very good.
Well, that was
bangers for days.
Yeah. So that was The Used. So opening the Opus stage is Kelsey Carter and the Heroines. Kelsey Carter's debut album, Missing Person, was critically acclaimed and a thrilling introduction to a truly singular musical mind. Like all the most electrifying artists, the New Zealand-born singer-songwriter invited the audience into a beautifully strange world of her own making, a fantasia that's equal parts rock and roll, grit, and wildly theatrical grandeur. There you go.
Okay, Kelsey Carter and what are they? And the what?
And the Heroines.
Heroines. Pop rock. It's fine.
Fine. Cool. I actually quite liked them. She had an interesting sound to her voice. It was a bit stupid sort of babyish voice at some points. Like she would pronounce R's as W's, like cigarettes.
Oh, okay.
Which it was a bit odd. But also, I think she was a very strong singer. I feel like being at one of her gigs would feel like you're sat there with her and being good friends with her. Like we said about the podcast, I think there's that meme where someone sat there with his cereal next to a picture, and it says how it feels listening to a podcast. You're there with the people. Like it would feel like you're one with her. You know, you're part of everything in there, not just looking and watching and listening.
Looking at the lineup and who's starting, it's the best opener.
Yeah,
like it's the right choice to open a stage. This band.
Yeah, cool. Right.
They've made some really weird opening choices on this festival. Like, and this is probably one of the ones that makes the most sense because I feel like they're going to have loads of energy.
Yeah,
and they're going to get people pumped.
Yeah,
so it's a really good choice to put them on.
Yeah, they're on the second stage though, aren't they? The open stage. Thinking about that, it would be outside. I feel like it would be better inside, maybe, but. Probably still quite good outside.
You have to see. I think that they'll get people riled up for the day.
Yeah,
I think.
But for that feeling of like inclusiveness, I guess, and being part of her and what she's trying to do, it would be better inside. But anyway, yeah, that was Kelsey Carter and the Heroines. Quite cool. I'm not sure if she was playing later on the day. I probably will go and see her, but I ain't getting in first thing just to see her. But anyway, yeah. Next up on the Opus stage is Alien Weaponry. They had no write-up. I quite liked Alien Weaponry. I'll start. Let's fuck it up.
Go on,
let's fuck the system. I quite liked Alien Weaponry. I can't do it. Things just go wrong. You start. You hang up.
No, you go again.
You hang up. No, you.
You hang up and I'll go. Okay. All right. I remember when everyone was going mental about this band.
Oh,
they
yeah,
were going crazy when this band came out.
They were saying they needed to be moved up stages and everything, weren't they? I remember that now.
Yeah, they were like, oh my God, like, what are they? Yeah. And, I mean, they're good. They got good riffs and stuff, but I don't like it that much.
Yeah.
I can't see personally, I can't see what the fuss is about.
Yeah.
But there was one point when people were just blowing them up big time. Fair play to them. I liked some of the riffs and it was good, but I mean, it didn't jump out to me personally as anything amazing, but
yeah, I think I quite liked them. It's not what I was thinking. For some reason, I thought they were some indie sounding band. I'm obviously getting them mixed up with somebody else, but I think I quite liked it after sort of that initial thing. So I probably would listen to some more to make up my mind. They're all right.
Okay, it's cool. Like it.
That was Alien Weaponry. Next up is 311. 311 was formed in 1990 in Omaha, Nebraska. See, they didn't abbreviate it to confuse me.
Are you saying 311 to be funny?
No. Why? What are they?
Because it's definitely 311.
311. I didn't know that. I didn't say 3. It's a space. 3 and a space and 11. I never knew that.
I thought you were joking. No, I mean, if you look at that, you would say 311, but I just thought everyone knew that they are 311, not 311.
No. Another thing I'll talk about in a little bit, similar to that. Okay, 311 was formed in 1990 in Omaha.
It'd be like saying, would you say Blink 182 or Blink 182?
Blink 182. Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
Blink 182. Oh, hang on, no. Blink 182.
You say Blink 182. You don't say Blink 182.
No, I don't. Yeah, that's a good point. I thought you were trying to catch me out. I thought this was the same.
No, I'm not trying to catch you out. I'm being genuinely saying,
Blink 182.
You say Blink 182.
Blink 182.
I know Americans would be like, like that band, Blink 182. Sorry, Americans, if you're listening. That was probably a really bad impression and horrifically racist. But you know, I don't know why it's
horrifically racist.
There's more of a ring to it. But when you say it in a British accent, it doesn't quite work as well when you say Blink 182. Especially if you've got a London accent like me. Blink 182 doesn't quite.
You're really good accents.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Me and my brother we had bunk beds.
Yeah.
And Mum would say we would just do funny voices to each other the whole night until she told us to shut up.
Yeah.
So we're really good with making weird voices, apparently.
Awesome.
Or doing impressions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam does. You've heard Adam's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I have. Yeah,
right?
it's very good. He did it on the podcast.
Oh God, of course. Yeah. It's very good.
Yeah, he is very good. Okay. Let's just say, what do you think of 311? We've gone.
We've we've gone.
And
we've
it's
gone
all
off.
it's all about
yeah,
talking about the people in the
go on.
band anyway, mostly. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, mix of reggae, ska, hip hop, and rock stuff. It was really good actually. I quite liked it. I've heard people talk about 311 before.
Yeah, I have.
And I thought, I didn't think this is what they sounded like. For some reason, I thought they were a new metal band, but I think I'm getting them mixed up with Three Doors Down,
They're not new metal either.
who are a new metal
They're
band.
not.
I mean, they are
Are they?
ish.
No.
So let's just say era defining.
Okay, right.
They were out when new metal was
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
So
true. Yeah.
not musically, but era defining. Within that thing. So I think I was getting them mixed up with Three Doors Down, expecting them to be like sort of heavy-ish,
Yeah.
distorted guitars and stuff. They're not that at all.
No.
They're completely not. And I was like, okay, but I see people meme them all the time when people talk about what's the weed date?
Oh, 420.
What's the date when people
4th of
when they say 420 and like I've seen people go and 311 and then they go into like loads of like reggae to sort of take the piss out of 311. But anyway, they've got tons of listeners as well. They're massive.
Yeah.
They're a huge band in the States, apparently.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Because I haven't heard much about them, but I think I have heard that they are big over there. Oh. Yeah, they surprised me. I didn't like them to begin with. A bit too soft, I thought. But after several listens, it was actually quite nice when they came on. It was something different to all the other alt pop. And I talk about how I'm a bit burnt out on. I'm a bit burnt out on at this moment, to be honest. Yeah, just burnt out on a lot of the other stuff that's on here. So it was actually
So it was good to have something different.
relieving when they come on. Yeah. So yeah, I
Nice.
quite liked them towards the end. That was 311. Next up, Royal Republic. Are they still playing? Are they pulled out? They're still playing, right?
Why have they pulled out?
I don't know. I thought someone said Royal something had pulled out, and I thought it was Royal Republic. If not,
Are they the only Royal playing?
Royal Blood are playing on the Friday, aren't they?
Oh, so it's one of the two then.
Could be. I could be
Royal
wrong as
Blood
well.
or Royal Republic.
I could be completely wrong. Royal Republic are many things. Sweden's foremost masters of addictive rock and roll. Trained musicians with a killer instinct for a great hook. Ferocious music nerds with appetites that span pop, garage rock, heavy metal, Americana, hip hop, and just about everything in between. Why list that many things then? Just say everything. Cheerful hedonists who will drink you under the table after shows and nail perfect 4-part vocal harmonies on stage every night. That's something different. Don't hear that very often. That sort of thing in write-ups very often. I like that. The world's most electric rock band, quite possibly, since meeting at the Malmo Academy of Music in 2007 before making their first global waves with hit singles Tommy Gun and Full Steam Space Machine. Royal Republic have cultivated on anything goes, spirit that flies. In the face of genre labels, no boundaries, no limitations. They'll give you sugared up disco 1 minute and tear your face off with the bludgeoning thrash assault the next. Yeah, I'm not interested in them. Sound indie, didn't grow on me.
These guys have played Download a lot though, right?
I don't know.
I feel like they've played a lot.
Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like they have. I feel like they played a lot. They're really good. They're really good. They got a really powerful sound, good singer. But it's just not my thing. I would never. Cat, stop shouting at me. I would never put them on personally, or watch them live.
Cool. Well, that was Royal Republic. Next up,
God, we sound so miserable in this episode. It's just like we're just hating almost every. I'm totally not like this as well. But this is just the way I feel, guys. I'm so sorry.
Try.
I hope this has been a fun episode, but I feel like we've been really miserable. Maybe we haven't, and we are having a laugh as well. But
yeah.
I don't know. Normally we're hip, but this feels like two moany old men. This one really does.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to moan about the next band. I promise. So
Who's the next band?
The next band is Elvana. If I'm right, yeah.
Yeah.
Elvana, the world's finest Elvis-fronted tribute to Nirvana. From the bowels of Disgraceland, rock and roll icons of the afterlife are raised from the dead. Rock and roll meets grunge as Elvis fronts Nirvana and gives the band the frontman it's been missing since 1994. Elvana tear through Nirvana's catalogue while splicing in grunged-up sections of the King of Rock and Roll's first moments, culminating in a whopper mashup of overdrive and old-school rockabilly. It smells like cheeseburgers and teen spirit. Daddy-o.
I love Elvana.
I know.
I love Elvis, and I love Nirvana, and I feel like this band is amazing. Even though it's just taking stuff and mashing it up, but it's doing like what a DJ would do.
Yeah.
But it's just doing it with a band instead. I think it's a really cool, fun idea. Like, and they're hilarious. They don't take themselves too seriously. They know it's a joke. It's good fun. I really, really recommend anyone see Elvana live. They are fucking hilarious and really, really good.
Cool. I didn't really want to listen to Elvis singing Nirvana. Right. So I didn't put them on the playlist. At the time, I thought...
I don't think they're on Spotify, are they?
They are on Spotify. I did look. And I looked at them and I went, do you know what I want to listen to? I'd rather listen to dogs singing the Beatles than Elvis singing Nirvana. So I put on the playlist the Woofers and the Tweeters Ensemble. The album was the Beetle Barkers. And it's dogs singing the Beatles. They've got 190 monthly listeners.
Jesus.
Wow. But it was good. It was pretty better than Elvana. So, I mean, it's...
I do like the Beatles.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I like dog barking that much, but that one for me is a bit...
Yeah.
I love the Beatles, but I'm not sure about dog barking.
Yeah, give it a try. The Woofers and the Tweeters Ensemble. There we go. That was the Woofers and the Tweeters Ensemble. And Elvana. Next up are Zebrahead. Zebrahead is vocalist, rapper Ali Tabatabai. I don't know if that's right. Vocalist, guitarist Matty Lewis, bassist Ben Osmondson, drummer Ed Adu. Oh, fuck me, these names, man. It all started with the release of the EP Yellow on the Inside, labeled Dr. Dream. Yellow. Oh, fuck off, not the inside. It all started with the release of the EP Yellow on the indie label Dr. Dream in May 1998. The buzz began and Zebrahead signed to major label Columbia to release their full-length debut Waste of Mind, which appeared later that same year. Playmate of the Year was issued in mid-2000 to rave reviews. The album's infectious title track received over 4,000 spins on modern rock and rock radio. Okay, right, whatever. Garnering airplay on some of the planet's biggest alternative stations. Stupid Fat Americans EP. Oh my god, this is long. I'm not even halfway. Well, there we go. What do you think about Zebrahead?
Yeah, good. I never really listened to them back in the day. My sister was massively into them. And a few people that I knew were really, really hugely into them. But yeah, it was a good listen, actually. It was much better than I remember. I don't remember being into them at all back in the day. But yeah, really good old school punk stuff, mashed with loads of other stuff. A tiny little dash of pop punk as well. It was good. I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to listen to it. But yeah, really, really good.
Yeah, I've always liked Zebrahead. I wouldn't say I've never really listened to an album, but I've liked a lot of the singles. Zebrahead are cool. That's my whole write-up. Zebrahead are cool.
I agree.
I just added that.
I agree.
I added that live because I can do that. Sorry, I feel like I'm pissing about too much at this point.
No, you're not. This is going to be
Cool.
a good one.
Cool.
Cause,
Okay.
Because we've been either angry or pissed off or just so nonchalant about a lot of these bands. This is going to be a fucking arsehole to edit. But I feel like this might actually be the strongest episode out of the three.
Yeah.
So
Cool. So that was Zebrahead. Next up on the Opus stage is Of Mice and Men. A commanding tempest of sounds coalesces within Of Mice and Men, blending the uplifting... I'm going to try and read all of this, right? I would just give up, but they've added...
Are you sure that they're not playing on the third stage?
They are not playing on the third stage. They are playing at some point on the second stage, but I couldn't figure out where, so I just put them here.
Okay. I didn't know that. I got them on.
That's a very good point. I believe they're playing on the third stage, but then on the second stage, but they're on the poster on the third stage. They must have been moved up, but they don't have the times on the website. So what I was doing, I was going to the, I was filtering it by stages and by days, and they were definitely on this stage on the Sunday on the website.
Okay, sweet.
But not, obviously they haven't updated the poster. So yes, shall we go through? Have you got your notes there anyway?
I got my notes.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Okay, playing somewhere on Sunday. Of Mice and Men. A commanding tempest of sounds coalesces within Of Mice and Men, blending the uplifting eloquence of modern active rock with the atmospheric dissonance of experimental post-rock. The band first emerged as part of a vanguard of future aggressive rock hitmakers. Over the years, they've distinguished themselves with musicality, creative ambition, and resilient determination. That was some words in there.
Yeah,
I liked it,
jeez.
but also didn't like reading it.
Of Mice and Men, yeah. Rock / some heavier stuff in there. I mean, they're okay. The singer's really good. They have a hell of a lot of listens.
Yeah.
Not my thing at all.
No, I think we talked about it before.
Not for me.
I quite liked a couple of the songs I heard, but when I went back to listen to some albums or put more on, they didn't jump out at me as much as probably the singles. I don't actually know which singles they've released. They might have some good albums and bad albums. I'd give them a listen again because the songs I liked. I really did like. It's something I like. But yeah, I want to try more, but I need to be given some recommendations, I think.
Yeah.
So
cool.
that was Of Mice and Men. And then they had no, this isn't headliners, is it? No. Next up is Thy Art is Murder. Thy Art is Murder ascended the ranks of extreme metal's top-tier bands with a meteoric underground rise as explosive as humankind's seemingly inevitable descent into doom and death. Australia's most harrowingly brutal export since George Miller's Mad Max franchise invites audiences worldwide to join them in a fresh Armageddon, a soundtrack to a divisive post-modern dystopia. Two-time ARIA Music Award nominees and tour mates with genre titans like Cannibal Corpse, Slayer, Creator, Lamb of God, and Killswitch. Killswitch Engage. Sorry. Yeah, it was on the next page. Just everyone just calls them Killswitch. I just assumed they stopped it there. Thy Art is Murder offers a savage take on blackened death metal. Blackened death metal. It's almost blackened death metal, right? Blackened death metal.
So close.
The guy who made that up years and years ago, I stole it off him. He listens to the podcast. He's going to know I stole it off him. Ooh, thank you for that. Just leave it there. Okay. Take on a blackened death metal combined with a heavy but accessible approach to social commentary. Yeah, that was it for them.
Yeah, That Is Murder. Really great deathcore band. Loads of bangers. Absolutely phenomenal live. Like I was talking about before, it's hard to separate a lot of deathcore bands, but I feel like this band has more depth than a lot of other deathcore bands. And from a musical standpoint, they're just fucking insane. They're absolutely nuts. I really like them. I've been an Art is Murder fan for a long time. Saw them in the tent at Download 2018 when Guns N' Roses were playing. I was in that deathcore tent.
Okay.
While it was popping off.
Yeah.
So yeah, really like them. Great band. I will definitely be watching them.
I think I liked them, but I didn't go much on Thy Art is Murder, to be honest. I don't know why I've written that. Does he? Because there was one really heavy band on this day that I thought some points he sounds a lot like Danny Fields with his high pitched sort of screams. Was it these?
Doesn't do many highs.
No. Okay, maybe it was somebody else I was thinking of them. I can't think who it was now. Yeah, really cool. Maybe.
Yeah, they kind of do. It's not quite as it's groovy as all hell. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it was these
maybe.
guys. But yeah, I like Thy Art a lot.
Awesome. I'll listen to some more because I have been enjoying some of the really heavy bands that are on this lineup, and I know
man.
I know I'll enjoy it live. Like there was a couple. I don't know which band it was. Maybe I've written it somewhere down there a bit, but I was driving along thinking it sounds okay from a little speaker in my van, but to feel it when you're inside a tent, I can just imagine how good this would be. Just feeling the music, and how heavy and awesome it is.
Oh, I'm telling you right now, mate, that second stage is going off for Thy Art. It's going to be great. It's going to be something to behold.
Yeah.
For metalers, definitely.
Yeah, cool. It'll be interesting. Again, it depends who's on. Thy Art is Murder. Electric Callboy. Electric Callboy write their own story like no other band around, with their modern sound between 90s pop synths, driving alternative rock and explosive metalcore. The band succeeds in every musical trick they play. Experiments like mixing German Schlager music with deathcore, as in Hurricane, hardstyle influenced industrial metalcore, Parasite, to their post-hardcore reinterpretation of Cascada's hit single Every Time We Touch, convinced that Electric Callboy master the strongest musical parameters of the respective genres. That's just about Facebook and things like that. After that, well, Electric Callboy is a different story to last year for me.
I know everyone loves this band. but I don't.
No.
Like, I think it's fun. It's entertaining. I would never put Electric Callboy on
Okay.
myself,
Yeah.
personally. I just wouldn't. Yeah, very good band. And they're extremely hyped up and they're playing very high on their second stage. They've done very, very well for themselves. And I love the Germans. So, good stuff.
Yeah. I can still hear what you said last year when we talked about them. The first thing you said was, those fucking Germans, man. They're just crazy.
You wait.
Something.
You wait. I repeat the exact same thing on the next stage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just wait.
But yeah, and I went on to say I do not like Electric Callboy. And that wasn't very long-lived because I do very much like Electric Callboy. It's not very often I would put them on anymore. I kind of burnt out on them very quickly, and I'm wondering if the music I was going to say industry, but like everyone will do that fairly quickly. I don't know, but it's going to be interesting to see how long they go and how far they go.
Yeah, some bands are short-lived though. You're right. Some bands sort of creep under the surface for ages.
Yeah, which they did,
and then they pop up. Yeah, and then other bands sort of just go straight to the top.
Yeah,
and then you never hear of them again. And then there are other bands that just sit in the middle the entire time. Yep. So yeah, it will be interesting to see.
Yeah.
What this band does. Well, you know, it'd be great to take a snapshot now, then in 10 years' time, and to go, oh, I wonder how Electric Callboy done over those 10 years.
I know I've likened them to this band a few times over the last year, but it kind of reminds me of Steel Panther. They were absolutely huge for a long time, and I think people just got burnt out on them.
Yeah,
the albums weren't that great. Only so long you can parody something without it getting boring. And Electric Callboy, I think, could go the same way, but they could get massive if they do the right things. I don't know what the right things is, but yeah.
But they could do them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Bud.
But yeah, I quite like them.
Good point.
Don't listen to them very much though. They're very cool. That was Electric Callboy. Next up is Corey Taylor. So I think it's sub-headlining, is he? Yeah, sub-headlining the second stage. Corey Taylor. Uncompromising, unfiltered, and undeniable in any way, Corey Taylor continues to impact culture as the frontman for both Grammy Award. Fuck off with the fucking awards. What have you to... We all know who Corey Taylor is. He doesn't talk about anything that interesting in this thing. He probably didn't even write it. What do you think about Corey Taylor's stuff, solo stuff?
I mean, yeah, it's Corey Taylor. I love Slipknot, but I have zero interest in seeing Corey Taylor solo. Yeah. And I've said many times, he's not the best live singer. Never has been. Not saying he's not a great singer.
Yeah.
He's never been the best live singer for me personally, even with Slipknot. And I think Slipknot have done probably the greatest performance that Download has ever seen. Yet I still do not think he is the strongest singer live. Yeah. But Corey Taylor solo, I have no interest for me at all.
Fair. I wasn't interested. I was surprised how much I liked his stuff, or specifically the two songs that I put on the playlist for this. I haven't really listened to much more. I had heard some songs, some I wasn't too keen on, and I definitely tried to listen to more of his stuff. When I think he put the song out, was it CMFT? It was Corey motherfucking Taylor. And I was like, I wasn't sure on that one, but I thought, well, let's give his stuff a listen. And I wasn't that keen on the album either. But these two songs grew on me. Actually, quite a bit. More than I was expecting. And
nice.
One of them was HWY666. I don't really understand the naming of that. But it just made me think of Supernatural. You ever watched Supernatural?
We've discussed it before. I've watched like the first 5 seasons and then I never watched it again. And they're up to like season 16 or something ridiculous. Yeah,
it was finished. I mean, 5. They were meant to finish on 5, so it's a good place to finish. But the rest are really good. But yeah, specifically Dean from Supernatural reminds me of, because he did a lot of that. He did a lot of singing with the southern Texas kind of sound, and that's what the song just reminded me of. Dean from Supernatural.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still not the biggest fan. I've said before though, I think I'm leaning more to have liked Stone Sour stuff more than Slipknot. Not that Stone Sour doing anything anymore anyway. But yeah, interesting. I don't know if I'll bother seeing him. It depends who else is on. We keep saying that. That was Corey Taylor. headlining the Opus stage on the Sunday is Machine Head. Undisputed masters of murderous riffs, pugnacious grooves, and ferocious hooks since 1991, Machine Head are long established as one of the most influential and incendiary bands in the metal world, exploding into the world's consciousness with 1994's seminal Burn My Eyes album. The now legendary Oakland crew brutishly redefined what it meant to be heavy, incorporating a wild array of influences into some of the sharpest and most brutal metal anthems ever written. That wasn't easy. A perennial vital force in heavy music, Machine Head have continued their exhilarating evolution while never losing the furious spirit of their old-school underground roots. Impervious to trends and proud to stand alone, Machine Head is still the bulldozer that crushes all. I like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very nice one.
Yeah, I mean, it's Machine Head. They are a fantastic band that's been around since the early 90s. They've played Donington in 95.
Did they?
96, 95. So, yeah, they've played pre-download, which is a pretty cool fact about Machine Head. That's how long they've been going.
Yeah.
But that was when they were like brand new, like Burn My Eyes, 95 vibes. But yeah, I mean, I've been a Machine Head fan since I started listening to Machine Head, which was probably, I want to say late 90s.
Yeah.
98. But I just think they've been great. And, they've had so many different phases where they've been really heavy. They've been sort of new metal. They've been, first albums almost like hardcore metal stuff. But I think they've been so influential to bands.
Yeah.
Great riffs, great singer, massively underrated singer. Seriously, he can scream. His cleans are unbelievable. Like, I think when people talk about metal singers, they never talk about Rob Flynn.
Yeah.
And he's great. He's a really great singer and a shit hot guitarist as well. But yeah, managed to see them in that tiny little tent at Bloodstock a couple of years ago. I was absolutely mind blowing to see them on such a small stage. But Machine Head headlining the stage will be just great. They're such a good live band and they're going to play bangers. They always mix up with their set though. I feel like every time I've seen Machine Head, they always put something in there where you're like, okay. Yeah, okay. I was not expecting you to play this. And I feel like they always do that.
Yeah.
And they're always doing their sort of little live drinkathons online. And they're I think they've pretty much played almost every single one of their songs on those. So I feel like they always practice a lot of the songs. So they always have a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
So with Machine Head, from a set list perspective, you never know what you're going to get, which is quite exciting as a fan. Yeah. I think.
That's cool. That was a cool summary because all I've written is Machine fucking Head, Machine fucking Head, Machine fucking Head.
Yes. Yeah.
I couldn't decide which two songs to put on the playlist. This is the only band, and I don't preach about how much I like Machine Head very often. I do like them. I couldn't pick only two songs. They're the only band I couldn't pick two songs, so I must like them a lot more than I actually do.
It says a lot about the band. Yeah, you're like, oh man, they've got so many bangers. I can't just put two songs on here.
And even bands that I really, really like. But yeah, I can't wait to see them. I am definitely going to be at that stage watching Machine Head. So you're probably wondering which songs I put on. I wrote them down just in case. Is there anybody out there? Of course, that's the biggest one at them currently.
That song just reminds me of you now.
Yeah,
because of you and Dan blasting it.
Hallowed Be Thy Name. I couldn't leave that off. The song they did about my two cousins, David and Ian. I've always seen it like that.
Oh, that's great. I'm never not going to say that now when I want that song.
And From This Day, probably got to be my favourite song of theirs. Such a good song.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's great. And that was the song that blew me away when they played it at Bloodstock, because I've probably seen them 5 or 6 times. Never heard them play that song. And what they're like, I was like, no way are they playing it. He's like, get up. I was like, oh my god, right, I can't take this anymore. And me and Lewis were just battering everyone. Right? I can't believe they're playing From This Day. This is insane. Battering everyone. So, yeah, it was. So yeah, they do pull out random, just like, and because it's a headline set, it'll probably be quite long. Yeah. So hopefully, I really hope they play From This Day, dude, just so you can hear it. Cool. Yeah, that's a great song. Cool. It's a great song.
Right. I hope you played Davidian as well. So, no, shut up. We're moving on. That is a headliner of the Opus stage. opening the Apex stage.
Can I just quickly, sorry, before we move on?
Okay.
That is, right, and I don't like everything on that stage necessarily.
Yeah.
That is the best stage on this day. There is a lot of variety on that stage. Every band is different, but I feel like it's all to a really good quality. I feel like if you stood at the second stage the whole day, you'd have an absolute blast of a day.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that the second stage, I think, is really strong from a music perspective.
Yeah, cool. I hadn't looked at that, and I haven't got it up in front of me at the minute.
But yeah.
That's awesome. Anyway. I will look at that later, though. You're probably right. So opening the main stage, the Apex stage, is Lord of the Lost, a name that over the past 14 years has embedded itself into the top genre of dark and top, I don't know what that means, genre of dark and heavy metal. Without Stagner John, the genre-fluid band from Germany, got to be some kind of translation error here. There's lots of J's when there shouldn't be. Should be something else. TIs. Yeah. Instead of a TI, it's a J. I'll try and work it out. Continues to explore their facets while showing everybody the boundaries that are only meant to be broken. Juggling elements of metal, industrial, glam, rock and pop, the group kept inventing itself over and over, both musically and visually, which over the years led to rising national and international success. Yeah, the TIs in national and international is a J, so it's NAJONAL. It's weird. Anyway, yes, Lord of the Lost. What do you think of Lord of the Lost?
I just put fucking Germans again. Once again, coming out with these weird ass bands. Although entertaining, not something I would listen to. Although I did start to get into it more. But yeah, weird mix of genres and a really strange way to kick off the main stage. Like almost every band that we've had this on this weekend, they are starting these stages off so weird. And this is another one to add to that list. Like, okay.
Yeah. So I know Alexander asked me about these and asked what my opinion was. I think they were big at Eurovision one year.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't know them from Eurovision, maybe you don't understand. Maybe I'm not talking about you generally. I'm not saying that you don't understand how big they are because I don't really know. But yeah, maybe they are bigger and a lot more popular than a lot of people might realise. So it might not be such a bad way to start.
Okay. Well, musically though, it's weird to start it off. I mean, not necessarily how big they are, but I mean, we had people over here for Vicky's birthday on Saturday, and they were like, "Oh, we can watch Eurovision as well." And I was thinking, I literally have 0% interest in Eurovision, and I always have literally 0.0% interest in Eurovision. No interest to watch it. Couldn't care less. Just reminded me of that. I was just thinking to myself, "Si, you've got no interest in Eurovision, do you?" And I probably talked to myself in my inner monologue, and I went, "Do you know what, mate? You're right, and I don't."
Yeah, I don't really have that much interest, but I've accepted that most years it will probably end up being on wherever I am. So I end up watching it, and it's all right. But
the worst bit about it is the English ones are always so bad.
This one was awful.
We always have the worst ones, the most embarrassing, terrible, just untalented rubbish that we put on. I don't know why.
Are you sure you didn't
we've
watch
got
this
so
year?
many talented.
Because you got that spot on.
I know who's competed and everything in it before, and I just think we have so many talented musicians and singers and performers and all sorts of shit in this country. We always seem to pick just the rubbish. It's like, who is picking this stuff?
I don't know. Yeah, I would love to know how it all works.
A bit embarrassing. But
yeah,
I don't know. I don't even know who entered this year for England. I have absolutely no idea.
I watched it and I have no idea who he is.
Oh, okay.
It was rubbish. It was absolutely awful. We were close to being last, I think. But I really, really like Lord of the Lost. Maybe not so much to start with. It definitely grew on me. Every time they came on, specifically the song, it was Blood and Glitter, I thought they were Creeper. Because I think it had a similar sound. And then a few songs later, Creeper came on. And I'm like, oh, it wasn't Creeper then. Who was it? So I have to go back and look. But yeah, it did really grow on me. And I liked his voice. It's odd, but it grows on you again. Like I said, it really grew on me.
Yeah.
So that was Lord of the Lost. Next up is Code Orange. They got a fucking long one again. It's very late. Code Orange flipped the heavy music world on its head with their 2017 breakthrough album Forever, a collection that masterfully mixed hardcore aggression with urgent industrial textures, earning the band a breakthrough Grammy nomination. Their critically lauded 2020 album Underneath earned the band their second Grammy nomination, and in a category of Best Metal Performances for the album's title track Underneath. Furthermore, Underneath closed out 2020 on multiple year-end lists including NPR, the New York Times, Billboard. It's just fucking shit again. Their latest single, Out for Blood, something or other.
Oh, they haven't updated then. Then they've released an album since that.
Yeah. Oh well.
They haven't updated it.
There's no point reading it then. What do you think about Code Orange?
I'll tell you all you need to know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I absolutely love Code Orange. Incredible alternative metal band. Absolutely love their last two albums. They're so creative, experimental. Definitely one of the most interesting bands in a long time. One of my most looked forward to bands of the weekend. I think them and Fear Factory are probably the two bands I'm looking forward to seeing the most. And yeah, they're just incredible. And I agree. I think that Underneath is a 10 out of 10 metal album and one of the most visceral, well-mixed albums ever. It's fucking insane.
Interesting
album. But I really like Above, the one they released recently, which is completely different.
Yeah.
Another reason why I love this band. Some of it's similar, but it's like, yeah, not even. It's just completely different to Underneath. But I really like the Above as well. But yeah, great band, really great. And do you know what I think? When I started listening to them and listened to Underneath, I thought this sound and this band sounds so familiar to me, but they didn't. But do you know why? Because the first Chimera album, Pass Out of Existence, sounds exactly like a Code Orange album.
Okay.
But like Code Orange sound like Chimera's first album.
Yeah.
But if you would have taken off the Chimera and just put Code Orange and then released that as a Code Orange album, I don't think anyone would bat an eyelid. Like they're that close.
Right, I see. Yeah.
Like they're that similar sound and experimental. Like it just reminds me so much of Pass Out of Existence.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so if you like Code Orange, I definitely recommend you go listen to Chimera Pass Out of Existence album because you will fucking love it if you like Code Orange.
Yeah. I don't really know with Code Orange. I don't think these songs came on very often when I was listening. Must have maybe skipped over them or something because I was typing and listening like at the same time, and I was like, I don't really recognize these songs. Like, how have I've listened to it the whole 2 weeks? Something must have happened. So I need to listen to some more. So I wouldn't say I disliked it. I feel like I've listened to them before, and I thought it was okay at the time, but I'm not sure if I'm getting them mixed up with Orange Goblin. I know I definitely liked them when I listened to Bloodstock.
They're definitely very different.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just the word orange in it. Can't get over that orange or something. But yeah, I remember I'd never listened to Orange Goblin before like a Bloodstock playlist. Must have been 2021, I want to say. It was that long ago, and I was like, I really like Orange Goblin. Orange. Yeah, fuck it, orange.
Yeah, orange.
Nothing rhymes with orange.
Orange.
Anyway, yeah, cool. I do want to listen to some more, but yeah, didn't really say much. Orange Code.
Well, if you couldn't tell, I really like him.
Yeah, awesome. So that was Code Orange. Next up is Creeper. Creeper had formed in 2014 in Southampton. Each of its members influenced by their mutual involvement in the town's hardcore scene and a love of punk and glam rock. Oliver Burdetts and Hannah Greenwood soon joined funding members Gould, Ian Miles, Dan Bratton and Sean Scott in 2015. What do you think of Creeper?
Right. Okay, so Creeper in like 2017 with that Eternity in Your Arms album, right? It's like a goth punk album.
Right.
And I normally like sort of goth punk, AFI, Misfit stuff, right? And I listened to that and I went, I could like this, but I never listened to them.
Yeah.
And they were huge for a little while.
They were, yeah.
And then they went away. And then they came back. And I listened to that other one, that Sex Death one, and I thought that's quite good. I thought, you know what, I'm going to stick on their latest album. And I think, did this come out in 2023. I was absolutely blown away by this album because it's like two different bands. They don't sound anything like they sounded in 2017.
Okay.
Nothing like it. This sounds like Ghost and Meatloaf and loads of 80s stuff.
Yeah.
Sounds absolutely nothing like what they did in 2017. Like, they've come back, obviously, from the hiatus, just a completely different band. And
interesting.
It's the album Sanguivore, and I listened to the entire album, and it blew me away so much because Vicky knows how much of a big Meatloaf fans we both are. I have to play her this album. Like, I was blown away by it. The starting song is a almost 10-minute rock opera, and I was just like, I can't believe how good this is.
Yeah.
So I listened to it all the way through, and I've saved it to my albums, and I'm going to listen to it. Listen to this. This is freaky. I'm going to listen to it on my journey to Southampton tomorrow morning.
Huh. No way. I assume you didn't know they were from Southampton until
I did not know they were from Southampton, but I am driving to an office that I look after in Southampton tomorrow, and I'm going to be listening to this album on the way.
Awesome.
So I'm sorry if you live in Southampton, but Southampton's a dive. Sorry, guys. But anyway, big up my people from Southampton. That's a shithole. But yeah, very good. And then I Googled what sanguivore means, and it means animals that consume the blood of other animals. And then there's a vampire on the front, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the vor. Cool. It makes sense. What did I say? Yeah, Creeper are quite cool. Was never the biggest fan. A couple of songs I like to begin with. I tried some more, but I didn't think I enjoyed it. I think I actually tried listening to the latest album, so I will go back and listen to some more from before that, because like you said, they were huge, and I don't know which song it was, but there was one of their songs I quite liked back probably close to about 8 years ago. I don't know what song it was, but I think they were in a church or something, but that probably doesn't narrow it down too much.
Not for that
in
kind
the video.
Of band,
No. So,
yeah. But I mean, I liked them before. Like I've got here, I saved that Hiding with Boys song onto one of my playlists ages ago. Yeah. So I obviously thought some Creeper songs were quite good, but I was just miffed as to how vastly different they are from when they were around in 2017. And anyway, that Sanguivore album, I'm 100% going to give that another listen and really soak it in. But I loved it when I started to listen to it. So
yeah, looking at their first album now, it would have been 2017 when they were first out. I don't know which one it would have been. Looking at these, never mind. I think I will listen to some more though. So that was Creeper. Up next is Kerry King. He had no write up either. Okay, I guess. Oh no, but okay, I guess. Obvious is it's got the obvious Kerry King sound. It just reminded me of college days. I can't think of any other bands now that were around other than sort of Machine Head. But the sort of chugginess from it takes me back to then. That's when there's a lot of bands around at that point. Or I was listening to a lot of bands at that point that were like that.
Chuggy.
Yeah.
Chuggy chug. I mean, yeah, it's Kerry King. Like, it's debatable if he's one of the people that created death metal. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's hugely important in the story and, you know, the history of metal. Legendary career with Slayer, obviously, and influenced countless amounts of bands from playing in Slayer. So, yeah, like, I probably won't go and see him necessarily, but I don't think it can be understated how much Kerry King has had an effect on metal. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice. Then we go very pop punky for a little while. After Kerry King, we got Bowling for Soup. With their 30-year anniversary as a band on the horizon in 2024, Texas' favourite punk rock export Bowling for Soup continue to grow their global fan base and expand their success year on year. Also dubbed the Crown Princes of Pop Punk, Bowling for Soup frontman and guitarist Jarrett Reddick, fellow guitarist Chris Burney, drummer Gary Wiseman and bassist Rob Valenti have proved that nothing, not even a global pandemic, has slowed the demand of their unique, humour-filled live shows and upbeat, heartfelt anthems. That was all of their stuff.
Bowling for Soup, old school comedy pop punk, very good. They have bangers.
Yeah. Not much else need to say.
That's it. They got some great songs and they're hilarious.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, like I said, I don't need to say any more on that. Next up is Sum 41. Should I just copy and paste our audio over?
Well, I guess they're a lot less comedy.
True. Okay, looking back at the band's storied 27-year career, Sum 41 has firmly cemented their place in rock history with over 15 million records sold worldwide, multiple Billboard charting releases, a Grammy Award nomination, 2 Juno Awards, 7 nominations, a Kerrang Award in 2002, multiple Alternative Press Music Awards, and countless other accolades. Well done. Well done, Sum 41. What do you think of Sum 41?
Yeah, I like I like loads of Sum 41 songs.
Yeah.
I like when they're heavier than when they're not. Like, I don't like their pop punky elements as much as I like when they're riffing. But I think that their first 3 albums are brilliant. Really, really great albums. Everything up to Chuck, I think, was really great. And then I kind of tuned out after that. And I've come in and out, and I still think they're a really great band. But yeah, it's cool. And it's cool that their sort of last festival performance will be at Download. So I think a lot of people will be there for that.
Yeah.
And it being on the main stage. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, and I do like a lot of Sum 41.
Yeah.
So yeah, very cool.
Cool. Yeah, I was probably a bit harsh on them. They when you're that big, when everyone knows who you are, what are you going to write in there? You're going to write what you've done and the awards and everything, but I get fed up with it.
Yeah.
I've also written See Above. I didn't actually say what I'd written for Thingy, Bowling for Soup. I wish I'd listened to more pop punk over the years, though. I do. I think listening to them on my headphones, I never really did that before. We saw the videos on TV all the time. Probably not the best quality audio. I noticed in Bowling for Soup there was a lot of parts and a lot of lyrics that I'd never heard before because it was like right in my ear. I must have just not
paid attention to it before.
Not paid attention. Yeah, sort of drifted off. So I thought that was cool, and like I was thinking, I do like a lot of pop punk, although I never listened to it over the years. Never listened to albums. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a point in my life
Change
where
of heart.
A point in my life where I'll go, do you know what? I'm going to listen to all the pop punk albums that I missed over the next 6 months. Maybe that'll happen. It probably will at some point. Yeah, because I didn't listen to any of them really. Even the massive one that everyone had, No Filler, All Filler, No Killer. I never had it. I never listened to it.
Good album.
Yeah, everyone had it back in the day.
Yeah,
everyone
had that album, man.
I never listened to it. But
I prefer the second one. I prefer Does This Look Infected to All Killer, No Filler.
Yeah, cool.
But
yeah, that's awesome. Awesome that it's going to be the last festival here. Moving on, we've got 2 left. We have Limp Bizkit. And they got a very short write-up. Thank you, Limp Bizkit. Limp Bizkit is an infectious spirit. Any other details are merely salad. That's it. I reckon Wes Borland wrote that.
Oh, 100%. You're a weird guy, Ace. Yeah. I mean, it's Limp Bizkit. What is there to say, really? Fantastic band, great grooves, underrated singer. Again, I think he's got really good vocals. I think he's still got really good vocals. Always been an absolutely cracking live band ever since when I first saw them all the way up to when I saw them last year. Just phenomenal live. And yeah, I'm really, really excited to watch Limp Bizkit, but I have a feeling that they might clash slightly with Machine Head, which would be quite frustrating. But then again, I have seen Limp Bizkit quite recently, only last year on a big stage, so I feel like I'm going to watch all of Machine Head and then watch what's left of Limp Bizkit, I think.
Yeah.
That's what I would choose to do, but that depends if the crew dem that I'm with want to do that. But yeah, it's Limp Bizkit. They're massive. I mean, Limp Bizkit were literally at one point, and this is no understatement to say this, the biggest band in the world.
Yeah.
They were the biggest selling, the biggest gig playing. They were just absolutely no one on this lineup. Let me just have a quick look back. You could say Pantera maybe, because they were absolutely fun. Okay, imagine Pantera aren't there. No one on this lineup has reached the heights, maybe Fall Out Boy sales-wise, but not many bands that play Download have reached the heights that Limp Bizkit reached when they had their time. I mean, massive is an understatement. So it's very cool to have them back at Download again. When was the last time we played Download? 2013?
Yes, remember around then. I think
Yeah, I want to say
They
13.
played on the second stage. They also played Sonisphere the same year or the year before, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I was definitely there in 2013 because it was a good gig. So yeah, we haven't had them at download for ages. So I think this is going to be a really big deal, especially to the people that have been going to download since 2013 and sort of haven't had that chance to see Limp Bizkit at a festival, and all the young kids, because somehow Limp Bizkit still managed to connect with the young people even now.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy that they connected with us when we were teenagers, and yet they still, that sort of angst and their sort of beefy rhythm sections still managed to sort of groove with young people, which is quite cool to see how many people relate to Limp Bizkit. So yeah, no matter what people talk shit about Limp Bizkit, you can't deny how just good and influential they've been. So yeah. And also, like I said, really great live band. So if you happen to catch Limp Bizkit, I can guarantee you now, you will not be disappointed. And they're in a very good phase at the moment of Bizkit. I think the last album was brilliant, and they're in a sort of not really taking themselves too seriously, having a shed load of fun at the moment. So I think this might be one of the best times you could probably see them.
Awesome. My notes just say, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it when you do that. So I just like, I'm going to say that. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely right. You've summarized it probably a hell of a lot better than I could. But yeah, I think it was Rockville. There was a picture recently of them playing Rockville, and there was fucking 100,000 people there. Loads of people. Loads and loads of people. They could probably be on the main... No, they are on the main stage. I was going to say they'd probably be on the main stage.
They could probably be on the main stage.
I was thinking back to... what was it a minute ago? They played second stage last time.
Yeah.
I mean,
they could headline this festival. I mean, like, if Avenged Sevenfold pulled out tomorrow, I'm not sure anyone would have that many qualms with Limp Bizkit headlining.
No.
It's, they're huge. They're massive.
Yeah.
So, very cool.
Very cool. Awesome. I'm looking forward to them. And headlining on the Sunday, we've done a whole episode about them. Avenged Sevenfold. To date, Avenged Sevenfold has sold over 10 million albums worldwide and earned 2 consecutive #1 albums. You're talking about the band, the sales, the albums, what they gained, people in the band, and what the live show's like. Yeah, that's a summary for you. I know we said that. We were like, oh no, it's Queens of the Stone Age headlining. We have to read theirs. So we read theirs. I don't think we bothered with Fallout Boys. I've just done a summary. There we go. That's all you get. Avenged Sevenfold.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like Adam just said, we've done an entire, if you're new to this and you only just come in or whatever, we've done a whole episode about Avenged Sevenfold. So go back and listen to that, because we literally gave them a lot of time and energy and listened to the stuff. And you'll both learn that we both like Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah.
A lot. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to them playing loads of weird new tracks, hopefully, because it's going to freak a load of metalers out when they start playing songs that sound like Frank Zappa. Or Red Hot Chili Peppers. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to them. They got loads of bangers, loads of albums that I genuinely love from Avenged Sevenfold. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really great way to end the festival. I
do as well. And I've said a few times now, I've spent the last 6 weeks listening to all of the bands over and over again. So I haven't really listened to Avenged Sevenfold much since we did that episode. That was 2 weeks of just Avenged Sevenfold. And I kind of forgot how much I liked them again. It's weird. Like when I got to the end of the playlist, it took a long time to get there. It was about 4 hours with the playlist. I got to the end of it and I was like, do you know what? I really want to listen to more Avenged Sevenfold.
Nice.
I just haven't had a chance since we did the episode. So now we've done this, I'm going to listen to some Avenged Sevenfold tomorrow and get back into them because they're so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah, really looking forward. Yeah, they're going to be, like we said, great way to end and to wrap up a very, very strange download festival. Like as an overall sort of like just end to this.
Yeah.
I mean, if this festival isn't a sign that metal is dying, I don't know what is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like you said, that's the end of this episode. We've got 2 more episodes, possibly a 3rd bonus episode if we manage to get the one out about the media day. But yes, come back next episode. We'll be talking about everything else. So we'll be talking about I think there's 6 bands that are playing on the, what are they called? 6. the Bawdy takeover on the doghouse. The doghouse stage on is it the Wednesday or the Thursday? I can't remember. I think it was the Wednesday from 4 till 9, I believe. There's 6 bands on. They've announced them not long ago. I'm going to listen to them and see what I think of them. I haven't listened to any of them yet. I haven't had a chance. That's like 12 weeks of not listening to anything that I want to, really, like I just said. But yeah, I'm going to check them out. There's going to be loads and loads and loads of other stuff going on. So we're going to talk about as much as we can.
Hell's yeah.
Yeah, I think last year we did everything, but I don't think this year we'll probably bother doing every single little thing because they've announced so much for the village this year. So much.
We might just skim over some stuff. We'll list some stuff and go through and be like, cool. And then other stuff that we want to talk about, we'll talk about in more detail, I guess.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff that I don't think we will be able to go into detail about a lot of it. Well, some of it. Just I don't have the time to do the research to find out what the hell it is. so yeah, we're going to talk about everything else. Drum circles. When was the last time you saw a decent drum circle at Download?
A drum circle?
Yeah. I don't know. I've thought about that recently. I don't know why I'm asking it now. It's very, very late.
It's a drum circle.
You know, where people get a load of bins and benches and shit, whatever they can drum on. And you have like fucking 12 people in a big circle just drumming.
What
on
is
stuff.
this stomp?
And it's really good, wasn't it?
Apart from when the riots were on, I've never seen that at Download before.
Really? Yeah. I think you used to get them quite a lot. You know, we were talking about the big sort of indoor food area that had the Chinese and breakfast. The last one I saw was just outside there, where they had benches there, and people got a load of bins and was doing one. But that was probably something like 2015, something like that, 2016, maybe not 2016 because of the rain, around that kind of time. I thought that the other day. It was like they're putting so much on, people aren't making their own entertainment anymore. But I kind of miss the drum circles. It was cool to witness.
It's nice to have more things to do though. It's like I think a lot of people have commented that, you know, I was speaking to my sister about it the other day. My sister's an old school. She went to Download 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yeah. And we, you know, there was nothing to do in the evening. When the band's finished, that was it. Like they had like the Duracell tent for a little while and but it's not like they put on massive stuff for people to do. And that's why the campsites seemed so mental, and it seemed like it was a bit more sort of lively in the evenings because everyone was at the campsites just going nuts, doing whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah.
But now everyone drifts towards the entertainment. Yeah. And that stops the campsites being so insane. Yeah. And, you know, a bit more lively than they used to be. So
that's a good point. And we said to Jenny and Danica when they were on the show, it's the best it has ever been. I will still take the entertainment that they're putting on over entertainment that we make ourselves, like you said, at the campsite or drum circles. But yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think of it that way, and that's really cool. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah,
awesome. I'm glad I brought it up. But we need to go. It's very late, and I don't know why I brought that up. But it
might not be late for the people listening. They might be like, They might be like, shut up. It's late for you, but it's early for me.
Yeah, it's like.
I want more.
I got another 5-hour train journey. Why aren't you talking for another 5 hours?
Where's my other 5 hours?
My name's Alexander Toon. I just want a feed into your brain to hear you talking to anybody you want. Anyway. We have to say goodbye now and go through our Patreons. Hopefully some of them change their name again. I didn't actually put a thing out to tell people to change their name again. We do have a new Patreon to the Courtyard stage, and the new Patreon is Chris the Hammer. Thank you, Chris the Hammer, you absolute massive legend.
Thank you. That was me doing an impression of a hammer hitting something. That's for you.
Awesome.
3 hammer smashes.
And now I'm going to go up the rest of the list and read some of these names out. I know some of you have changed them. We'll see what they are when we get to them. Let's see if we can make us laugh. So, again, starting from the bottom, Chris the Hammer. We have Liam, Lee Superhuman Newman, Tom West, Aaron Bell, Joanne Card. I think that's meant to be a funny one. I don't get it. Joanne Card. Do you get that? I'm sorry, Vicky. I don't know what Joanne Card is. Joanne Card.
Are you reading it right?
Joanne, the name Joanne, and then card as in, here's a red card. You made a terrible pun with your name. Get off the pitch. I don't know. Joanne Card. I don't know. Sorry, Vicky. You might have to explain that one, but it's always terrible when you have to explain it. I hate that when I make a joke. Chids Nips. He didn't change that. It just says Chiz Vids on here. He questioned me the other day. He was like, who changed my name to Chiz Nips? Or is it actually changed? I didn't change it. I was like, no, I just think it's better. Chiz Nips. Ethan Brown. Matthew. Chris Henderson. Scott Seeger. He left the fucking band. I don't know why I said that in an accent. I don't know what accent it's meant to be in. He left the fucking band. No, yeah, it sounds like it should be.
That definitely should be said in a northern accent, 100%.
Yeah. So it's from something. I'm old and can't work technology. Kurt Angle, Metallica's new drummer. George Butler, Sean Schofield, Dean Delicado, Ian, I didn't touch them, Watkins. Ooh, look at me. I'm a can of water. Buy me now. And the Saint Anger Snare Appreciation Society. Thank you, all you massive legends. Sorry I didn't put a prompt out to say that we're doing the podcast, change your name. Some of you did, again, which is awesome. I'll do it for the next episode, definitely.
Yeah, you guys should definitely join the Patreon because we are giving stuff back to you now, as we were doing that before. But we've got loads of cool little things within the tiers that you guys can get from us and that we can do for you, which are really, really cool. So, yeah, if you want to become a patron, it'll be supporting us. All the money goes back into the podcast, whether that be into merch or running the show. And yeah, I think it's really cool. And you should definitely do it.
Yeah, awesome. Right, well, it's time for us.
And if you don't do it, I'm going to come around your fucking ass and I'm going to fucking have you, all right?
I think that's the £2,500 one. You don't offer it for free.
No.
We do have a tier for £2,500. Simon will come and chill with you for the weekend. And when he says chill, he does mean he'll have you up against the wall. Right, no, we got to go. Thank you all for sticking around. Like I said, come back next episode. We're going to be talking about everything else. For anything you want, like join the Patreon, or you want to send us the Wednesday morning episode submission, find all the links you would need in the Linktree in the episode description. We got an email in there, all the social medias, a link to our Discord. The Discord has been awesome recently, especially we're doing a countdown as well now. But yeah, so much chat in there every single day. It's a really, really cool place to be. But for now, it's a goodbye from Simon.
Good.
And a goodbye from me. Goodbye.